played on that one? Your stream versus TV, Ollie, yeah. Maybe that's the hands.
Where's the mics?
The player mics are here.
Are you having player mics? So?
I don't know. Andy, are we doing player mics? Are we doing the
player mics?
Yeah, so why not? Yeah. I don't know how yours work. I saw this in the video.
So that's just an extender, so it doesn't bump into that. Do you like this? His arms in there, so.
I love that you're playing. You top forward in the list that Ollie told you was shit.
I was slating it the whole weekend. Like, perfect. Like, oh, this is fucking shit.
You know you've got to get the final against Ollie.
I would love you to.
Oh yeah. If you win, I'll still be like, this is shit, Jack. Actually, like, this is shit. It's amazing. So on paper, I saw that.
Can I swear on the stream?
Yes.
Can I make fun of people?
100%. We encourage it. You met us, right? You know we're already live, right? So you can make. That's your boss. He's like the boss.
Sure? Fuck it.
Oh no.
I also have your play credit.
It's easy.
My eyes.
Yeah, Lee was like, I did not do that.
I was stoked. Looking at my phone.
I was going to message you Louisa and it said Paul. And I sent in the video of you guys singing Hamilton to him.
Oh.
Right. Them two started, the clock started.
So if there's ever any times, if you don't have your own tokens, if you just use red band, you should have enough. If you have yours, you can use yours. That's fine. But we've got red band as well, so if you want to use these, okay. You do whatever. You can use whatever you want. It's just so I know. We've got a couple of recommendations.
So what was like red guys or like
Lose pitch. You can do anything. Ideally, just move it to the front. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, fine. And then yeah, and it has to be flat or light. Yeah, love it. All agreed. All good.
Come straight to final with it. Oh no, we just spent a fortune. Kids don't need clothes.
Come on, an old tree man. Ooh. Shiny, I'm keeping that. Okay, good morning chat. Give us a hello if you can hear us. If you're joining us, we're on day 3 of UK Games Expo. We have got Jeff and Timbo on the top table of the top 4. The other game is Lee versus Ollie, who have both already been on stream, so we thought we'd get these guys on. We've got some interesting lists, which I will put. Oh, my co-caster for this game, Chris, has just brought them up. So, Chris, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us how you did, because you were playing this weekend as well.
Yeah, so I was running Operative Luke, Double Air Speeder, Saboteurs. Went 2 and 3. Had a lot of fun. It's quite a fun list. Probably not meta, shall we say? But yeah, Saboteurs, they're great. Just blow stuff up.
Now, did you think you could play something more fun because there was no invite?
Yeah, so do you know what, there's been a lot of chat about that this weekend, and I think a lot of people are playing lists they are finding fun and lists they want to play, rather than, you know, chasing the dragon of the meta list and because there's an invite on the line. You know, there's a lot of strong players here, lots of interesting lists, but people are playing stuff that's more fun. That's definitely a trigger for me, I think. Having not played Rebels for ages, I've been playing them sort of in preparation for this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One thing that I thought was interesting was so Jeff decided he was going to play some Rebels for a change and play something a little bit more, again, off meta. And you know, he was on the podcast this week just gone, and there was a lot of shit talk on his list. But he's in the top 4, so
yeah.
He's got a very real chance of taking the win. So do you want to take us through Jeff's list?
Yeah, so Jeff is running 794 points, 11 activations. He's got Din, Tenacity Comms Jammer, Emergency Stims, Jetpack and the AMBAM. R2D2, Fleets with Electro Binoculars. He's got 2 Vets with Heavies and 2 Medium Blasters. He's got Ewok Skirmishers Call to Arms, Naked Swoops, an FD with Link Targeting Array Overcharge Generator, and the X-34 Land Speeder with a Gonk Droid, RPS, Wedge, Ion Blast and HQ Uplink.
You're good.
So really interesting list. It's a real mixed bag of Rebel stuff. Obviously he's got Wedge's Field Commander. I mean, you know, Din has had a lot of hate, I think, over the last year or so. We've not seen him much on the table. But, you know, I guess this is a good idea of good players do well, no matter the list, really.
Agreed. I still think Din's pretty fun to play. He's not as game breaking as people first thought when he was coming out with the AMBAM. Like, obviously, at that point, you could AMBAM into closed transports and into melee, and people thought that was just going to be game-breakingly good. And don't know about you, but my Din hits 1 in every 12.
Yeah.
He is not great. And then so Tim has come all the way over from Canada, and he's borrowed an army from Andy. So Tim has been is playing what Andy was playing for the last few weeks, right? But with some tweaks.
Yeah.
So the main tweak that Tim's had is that he's added Krennic in there, which I think is for some compel. But the list is Krennic, Callus with environmental gear and the staff, Fifth Brother with Inquisitor training into the fray and force push, Seventh Sister with training into the fray and push. He has got 2 Stormtroopers with T-21s, another 2 Stormtroopers with T-21s and Med Droids, and Royal Guards with Protector. So a real interesting list. It's like I said, very similar to what Andy was playing, but with the change of, I think he's dropped a core.
Yeah, for Krennic.
For Krennic, and another, I think maybe a med droid as well. So the interesting thing is that's giving him more suppression mitigation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not 100% sure. Well, I am 100% sure of his command cards because I'm looking at the lists. But it gives him that crucial access to that 3-pip turn 6.
That can be key.
Really key.
And again, Krennic's another character we've not seen a lot of really in the last sort of 6-12 months of Legion.
Well, I think the same is actually with quite a lot of things in Tim's list. So with Callus, I've always been a big fan of Callus. I think he's a really underrated unit, but he's got some really good, strong competitive play. He's good with a lot of other units. Giving you access to contingencies is really big. But also having that cunning as well is and Krennic's Callus's 2-pip is massive.
Callus's 2-pip is great, isn't it? So I actually got a couple of reps in against Andy with his first iteration of this list with mine, and run a Jedi into double Inquisitors is not fun.
Do you know what? I've been playing double Inquisitors, and I know that it's been a little bit hot topic of whether it's top tier meta or not, but it is certainly a lot of fun when you can just turn off someone's horsepowers. That's loads of fun.
And I think that's what we're seeing in Legion at the moment, certainly in this country, is a bit of a rock paper scissors in terms of lists. You know, if you're running double Inquisitors and come up against Force users, then happy days. You come up against a lot of speeders and armor, maybe not so much. Well,
essentially you're kind of rolling the dice with Inquisitors because you're either you're losing 10 points off your bid for nothing, or Inquisitor's training is game-breakingly good, but it's all or nothing. You're either wasting 10 points or you've got it. And interestingly, Timbo's got push on both of the units. That's how I started with it, and then I swapped out to put burst onto. Well, I put it on Sister because she natively had charge.
Sure.
Whereas I know Andy was talking about putting it on Brother because he can have.
Enraged.
Yeah, he's got enraged. So there's some interesting list building choices that you can make, but I mean it's clearly working because we're in top 4.
And so I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Obviously, just doing battle deck at the moment, so whatever the objective is will be really critical here. I think. Obviously, Jeff's got the bid.
Yeah, so Jeff being the blue player there.
Yeah.
Interesting
chat.
The shout out of "Let's play a weird game" is always what you want to hear. So it looks like we're going to have battle lines. Is that
recover hostile?
Oh, battle lines recover and hostile. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting setup. Hostile, obviously, potentially playing into Timbo's list quite a bit here with the.
Well, do you know what the other thing with Inquisitor's training is that a lot of things that I've forgotten it almost every time I've played it is Demoralize 1, and that's really good, especially like we said, playing in with the potential for that 3-pip. If you save that to the end, you're throwing a big suppression bomb on a whole army.
Yeah, I mean, if you can play at turn 6 and you box carry drops the box.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, at the moment. Obviously playing into Jeff has no Force user, so like we said, that is all that upgrade is doing, is giving out Demoralize, and I think being on Hostile, that's probably the best choice you could make.
Yeah, and obviously Jeff has got Bounty and the Threat of Secret Mission as well, which could be critical in this game, just five objectives.
Well, the interesting thing as well is that he's got a lot of choices for his Bounty, so having 4 characters in the list, I'm not actually sure who I'd put it on. It's interesting because you can put it on an Inquisitor because that's going to make you think twice about playing aggressively. But then also having it on someone who's a bit squishier like Krennic.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would put it. I don't know where would you put it on that list?
My thought probably depends on setup, doesn't it? But Din with the jetpack, Krennic can't escape that. You can chase him around the board in a land speed if you need to and jump out. So that'd be my idea. And you take away Krennic, you take away the compel. Yep. You're taking away potential of the command card for it as well. So.
Well, that's it. And it's interesting to see where command cards lay through having contingencies. You can utilize far more of your list. So it'd be interesting to see what command cards get played and when.
Yeah, because I could look, but I don't know what Jeff's command card hand is.
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting when you think about the potential of the 2-pip of Callus. Like,
Yeah.
when would you play it? Because what's in his, command cards?
You almost have the save it to turn 5 play, and then you're cancelling out that last card. If you know that someone's already played a command, like hasn't played standing orders in a game, then you're basically saying you've got to play standing orders in the most clutch turn of the game.
Or potentially you go the other way. You can actually make them play a 1-pip to go first, save your activation to go last as well. So you have got
True.
that if you've got the out activation. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
With double.
Well, I mean, I
push.
suppose I don't think anybody has ever done ISB investigation and called out 4-pip.
Mate, do it. Yeah, do it. I would love to see
But
it.
I would love to see it. It'd be interesting to see how the command cards play out. But again, I haven't looked at his command card, so I don't know that he has ISB investigation. I would imagine that if it's not in the main hand, I would say it's got to be in the contingencies.
Absolutely.
If it's not.
Absolutely. So it looks like Ollie and Lee are set up. So I'm just going to go and see what they're playing objective-wise, and I'll come and report back.
Lovely. Okay. So we're just getting through into deployment. Timbo, like we said, is the red player. He's at the top of the screen, whereas Jeff is the blue player, who's at the bottom of the screen. You can see we tried to get a slightly different camera angle from yesterday so that you can get a better view of the board. Chris Reese, shout out. Hello, Dave. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so the supplies are going down. Jeff has just put down a supply just by the dice cam, so it's actually kind of off camera. So to the right of the big Sith temple on the bottom right, right at the edge of the board. So just a little bit above the dice cam, and you know, I might even tilt the dice cam so that you can see it. And Jeff really splitting out and utilizing the fact that our camera only gets about 95% of the table, putting his other one, the polar opposite end of the table, again outside of the camera, so you can see where his hands are floating around just above the well, it'd be a range 1 from that deployment marker and the palette of boxes just to the left of the screen on his side. Timbo measuring just south of the middle, so there you go, making sure he's a range 1 distance from the center supplies.
So it looks to me like this is going to be a Ewok skirmishers go one back box on the side, probably some vets grab the other one, and then try and zone the middle.
Yeah, I think you probably send your cheapest shit to go and get that. Interestingly, though, there's an FD in the list, right? So that's got some good zoning possibilities, and you know, having that on, having good line of sight to the middle, I think is probably quite key. I'm just going to see where Tim's put his.
Morning, Chris Reese in the chat. Timbo is looking surprisingly well, actually. When I picked him up this morning from the hotel, he was not looking well. So, Timbo got about 10 minutes sleep, I think. So
he's throwing out the excuses already. You know.
Yeah, it's like we're going to be throwing out the videos from the karaoke later as well, and that'll definitely be worth watching. So.
Yeah. So for Tim's objectives, so you can see the yellow box, which is just above the Sith temple on the right hand side of the screen, and below the little pyramid just under the word condition. So that's where one of them is. Then if you go a range 1 to the left, almost exactly parallel, that's where the next one is, and then range 1 towards the middle, that's where the next one on that is as well. So if you just double tap that, you can throw in down, just click here. So we're just going to get the so we're just going to throw in the game mode here.
Oh no, it's deployment. I also was out last night.
Sorry, it's Chris's first day.
Not technology. Reading, not my strong points.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, a large part of Legion is the social. So, speaking to a lot of the guys, they went to the karaoke bar. Oh, there's a stormtrooper walking up.
So I'll clarify that, Tom. We went to a Chinese restaurant with a karaoke bar in it. Tom spied some cosplayers, so he's off to get a selfie with Stormtrooper number 1. Back in a second. Okay, hopefully you can see the battle deck set up on the top of the screen there. So just a quick report on game 2. So we've got Ollie Dyer, the current world champion, facing off against Lee Macken. So the battle deck has come down there. It's key positions, hemmed in, hostile, and Lee's got the bid, so he's blue. And talking to Ollie, the choice was key positions or hostage on hemmed in. So he's obviously gone for key positions there.
Well, he's never going to go hostage. I mean, if anybody knows the power of Blizzard Force with hostage, it's Ollie. This is the list that he's played for years. Is not an exaggeration.
No, he's got I think he's got over 150 reps with it. So I think that's a really interesting matchup because obviously Ollie is playing his Fury Road list, which won Worlds with. And Lee is playing the Blizzard Force list that Ollie had a lot of success with last year. Won his obviously flight and hotels and invite to Worlds.
I mean, he won
everything.
Yeah.
Bastard. Yeah, so for those who don't know, so Ollie's list, 9 activations, 795 points. It's 2 units of Black Suns with the Vigo and the Scattergun. 2 units of Black Suns with the Magdet, Vigo and Frag Grenades. 3 Naked Swoops and 2 AA5 speeder trucks. One has got the raiding party leader, and both of them have got Gonk Droid, Backrod Medic, and Comms Jammer. And then Lee's list, I can't quite see at the moment, but from memory,
we could tell you from memory.
Commander Vader with burst, push, and I want to say reflexes.
I believe it is reflexes.
Yeah. And commanding presence.
I think it's improvised
Oh,
orders.
it's improvised. Yeah. Obviously 4 74Z speeder bikes, and then 2 HRU.
2 of the speeder bikes, I believe, have transponders.
Okay,
so
nice.
that you can have a better bid.
Yeah, cool. And then obviously 2 Snows with medbots, and then 2 HRUs, and I think he's running DLT RT.
I think it's because it's 3 red, 3 white, range 4, which is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's going to be a really interesting. Obviously, key positions. You know, Vader Implacable turn 6 is obviously going to be. But you've got a very aggro list going into it.
I think Ollie knows what he needs to do, which is kill Vader. I think that list with Infinite Courage, with Compel, is so strong, and just knowing that you've got Implacable turn 6, you've got Vader's Might if you want it. It is just really strong.
And obviously hemmed in, they're going to be starting quite close. So yeah, maybe he just suicides in to kill Vader, because with his raiding party leader, he's getting demoralised on all his vehicles. So you kill Vader and you just.
If he can suppress the rest of the list, I think that's pretty key. So just looking on where we are here, so Tim, obviously with Tim's objectives, they're all pretty close. So you can see a big wall of white armour there. We've not had down any commanders, I don't believe yet. Nope. We've got some IRG just going down. Jeff appears to have spread himself out a little bit. So, as you thought, we've got some skirmishes towards the objective by the dice cam. So again, give me 2 seconds and I will adjust that. Then we've got some rebel vets, the land speeder. And I don't think we currently have anything over at his far objective on the left-hand side of the screen.
Do you know what that's going to be? It's going to be R2D2. He's going to pick the box.
He's going to trundle over there, and then he's going to score a secret mission.
Yep.
So this is real interesting, because do you split your... do you commit something over there just to kill R2? It's going to lower your offensive output on the middle, but... you could kill R2, claim a box, and then you've got a real easy ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark II just going down, as you can see, just above the dice cam there.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff's just setting up a kill box to face that central recover.
He's definitely trying. There's a good piece of terrain which I think should block some line of sight, so that's going to be pretty key for ducking down. So Tim put Krennic is down. another unit of Storms. So I'll tell you what as well, the T21, if you can get into, once you're in range 3, if you've got the full squad, 8 white dice, crit 2, surge to hit, that is a lottery gun and a half.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, Jeff's got a very similar lottery gun with the CMO. Because his Din deployed, is he in the land space? So,
no.
I mean, you could put Din over there. That would really lower his offensive output, though, because he's.
I think it's got to be.
Because did he
R2.
have does he put the spear or the Ambam on him?
Ambam.
The Ambam. So the Ambam, I think, is really underrated. So a lot of people were put off by the actual Ambam shot itself. So the 1-speed move, then you take infinite range, throw a red dice on a paint, take a wound. But having that as your melee suppressive is
immobilize.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The suppressive immobilize is bonkers good. So what you can see Jeff putting down here is he has 3D printed silhouettes for absolutely everything. So if you ever need any silhouettes, they are amazing. I think the majority of the competitive UK Legion scene play with Jeff's silhouettes. There you go. So that's interesting. So making sure that he's a range 1 from the vets, because obviously when you get an order, you've got the coordinate to an emplacement trooper. Now the emplacement trooper doesn't have to be one of the Mark IIs, which is a really good play. Like you normally see that in an Echo base. So to see that here, because that is obviously not moving for the whole game.
No, exactly. that's that there, and that's all it's doing.
Yep, it is going to be standby or aim and shoot. And again, I'm going to check if has he got one of the Jennies on there, because that's
Yeah, I think he's got the impact generator, maybe.
Oh, okay. So the impact generator isn't going to be doing a huge amount. Overcharge. So it's for suppressive.
Yeah.
So that could be pretty good, especially with, like we say, there's potentially an Annihilation Looms coming where the entire board gets 1 to 2 suppression depending on the turn. Morning, Liam. So we've got Timbo and Jeff. This is the first game of the top 4 on stream. So we have an Inquisitors, Krennic and Callus list with IRG and a T21 gunline against Jeff, who is playing, I mean, let's call it as it is, it's Rebel Soup. So you've got some skirmishers, you've got land speeder, you've got fleet troopers, you've got double vets, double Mark IIs, you've got a squad of swoop bikes, you've got Din Djarin, you've got R2, and you've got an FD. And then in the other game we have Ollie against Lee Macken of Crafty Terrain playing I mean it's 2 of Ollie's lists, so we're playing
Ollie's playing himself,
yeah,
really.
Ollie is having a mirror match with his past self, but 2 incredible players. So this is, it's going to, I think no matter who wins these games, it's going to be a great final.
Definitely. And you can't see it, but just off screen, Jeff has put R2D2 down on his far left flank to go and claim that box and then threaten secret mission.
Yeah.
And obviously Timbo is completely balled up in the centre with that big building. So if someone's going after R2, we've got to get over that building and across there. And I guess one of your Inquisitors is your best chance of doing that. But then you're taking Inquisitor away from the fight in the middle.
I think Jeff's done the right thing there, trying to really split and make Timbo make some interesting choices.
Yeah.
He's doing exactly the right thing. He's going to be all guns for the middle or trying to get some kill points. And I think he's got a good list to do it. The swoop bikes is really interesting because he's got the double overrun and he's got an attack, so he could get 3 attacks off in 1 turn. I think keeping the IRG well placed is going to be pretty key, because that is quite clutch in this list. I think making sure that you have that range 1 bubble to your key pieces, making sure the T21s stay alive, making sure that the Inquisitors aren't just going to be roadkill.
Bounty on Fifth Brother.
Fifth Brother, and Din has gone literally slap bang in the middle of Jeff's deployment, directly opposite that box as well.
Perfect. So that's interesting because you, with the way that we're playing right now, we are just lining up for a deathmatch in the middle, over the middle box. So do you play slightly more cautious with Din, and then try and get an early ambam shot off, because that is an automatic wound. There's no defense dice rolled, and having block is really strong.
Yeah. Well, the thing you've got here at the moment is Jeff potentially, if he claims the box and secret mission, he's scored 3.
He is, yeah.
So Timbo's got to come to the middle, and Jeff is actually set up to just shoot the living crap out of him.
Now this is quite smart as well, because being the blue player, he's in theory at a disadvantage because he's going to lose on a tie, whereas having that threat of that additional victory point, he's making Timbo have to go for the middle, so he's not going to tie on a 2-box to 2-box, so he's going to have to play that a little bit more aggressively. There you go, player handshake. That's always the best.
All the cards are down. I'll go and have a look because we're getting a lot.
See what we got there. Okay, so command cards down. Jeff playing assault. That's smart. He means he's going to get as many orders out as possible.
And Tom's going to explain the 2-pip.
Okay, so we got the fifth brother 2-pip. Just going to let the PA squawk box finish. Okay, so we've got You Would Question Me, which is a permanent card effect for the whole game. It gives an order to Fifth Brother and Seventh Sister. When Fifth Brother gains a token, Seventh Sister gains a dodge token. When Fifth Brother gains a dodge, Seventh Sister gains an aim. So Fifth Brother is a token generator in this point. When either unit gains an aim or a dodge, the other unit may gain an immobilized token. If they do, the first unit gains an additional token of the same type. So again, it's just using that real token battery, and I think it's quite smart because you could use Brother quite defensively at this point and just sit him back, save him till late game.
I feel like that's a standard opening card, isn't it, for an Inquisitor list,
yeah.
just to get the permanent up and get the token generation going. So
yeah, I mean, in all the games that I've played Inquisitors, that is my first play every turn.
Yeah.
So Jeff's orders went to a squad of vets who coordinated to the FD cannon, which makes sense. The other squad of vets and went to a Mark II, and then because it was Wedge issuing the orders, the land speeder has taken an order, which is again. It's a key unit. So he's pulled from the bag a squad of fleet troopers who just moved up behind the Sith Temple.
it's quite interesting in Jeff's list. So he's not obviously got the order on Dins. He wants the independence, but he hasn't got any way of like controlling it with improvised orders. So if he pulls him, he's going with him, which is
well, he also has he doesn't have improvised orders, but he also doesn't have an order on R2. So if he pulls it too early, he can go with R2.
Yeah.
R2 is sitting pretty. He's just going to.
He doesn't care when he goes.
He's going to spend 6 turns of trundling across the board to score secret mission, and I don't think there's anything Tim can do about that.
No, I think at this point Tim's probably got to commit to winning that middle box and winning on kill points.
Absolutely. Especially because he doesn't have any of those fast units. He doesn't have like the squad of swoops or a squad of bikes or anything like that.
And fair play to Timbo, because if I drunk as much as he did last night, I would not be playing Legion this morning.
You're not wrong. I mean, so for anybody that doesn't know, Tim got in at about 5, and it is currently 10 o'clock. He is up, he is fresh-faced.
And he's drinking whiskey and coke, so...
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of respect for that. A lot of respect.
At my age, no, I can't be doing that and then play Legion the next day.
Yeah, me neither. So Tim at 9 acts and Jeff at 11. So Tim does have a pass as well. So it would be interesting to see if he utilises that.
Yeah. And you wonder if that will, affect his command card choice for tempo later on to go last and get some activation.
Big time, because I think what a lot of people don't think about is you always think you want the priority and you want to be going first, but a lot of the time it's not actually true. So IRG, move, dodge. I think we're going to see quite a defensive turn 1. Yeah. In fact, I think we're going to see a couple of defensive turns from Tim. I think there'll probably be some double moves to get to boxes. And I think he's going to want to slow play it a little bit. Jeff, obviously having the FD cannon, he can wait out for as long as he wants because he outnumbers him. So Tim's going to want to leave as little on show as possible.
Yeah.
Did you post on social media?
I guess that's where actually cunning kind of is a bit of a negative effect almost. You don't want to win the priority, you don't want to tie because then you win non-priority with cunning. So
Well, that's the beauty of standing orders, right? There's quite a lot of time where you end up just playing standing orders because you don't want the priority, and there's normally one unit that you want to save. So that unit gets the order, everything else, whatever.
absolutely. And that's why I'm not playing at the top table because I like playing my fun command cards, man.
I mean, I'm the same. Unfortunately, I had some other commitments, so I could only make it up for today. But otherwise, I was going to come and stream. But if I was playing, I probably would have played some Bright Tree nonsense. I played it on last Saturday at Milton Keynes. Played a Han, Leia, Chewie ATST, and you just want to play the fun stuff, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so Liam has been commenting in the chat. He lost to Timbo top 8 last night, but he is running Wookiee Battle Force with triple bombardier. NASP,
the people's champ, Liam, going in with the
absolute hero.
Going in with the Wookiee Battle Force. Morning, Lila. The lists are we have Timbo playing a double Inquisitor, Callus, Krennic, IRG, and T21 gunline against Jeff's 11 activation Rebel soup of a 2 squads of vets, 2 Mark IIs, a pizza gun, some swoops, Din, a land speeder, some fleets, and R2. And then on the other table behind us, we have Lee Macken playing Blizzard Force against Ollie playing Fury Road. So we've got some really interesting games going on. I'm really pleased that this is the way that the matchups went, because it means that we're not going to have so Lee currently is the only player who went undefeated before the cut. So obviously all of the players post cut are undefeated, but I love that we've got Jeff. I feel like we can call it as it is. I feel like he was a bit of an underdog with this list. Nobody really expected it to do quite as well as it has. Tim taking a list that a lot of podcasts have been calling the Inquisitors bad. So seeing it come to top 4, I think is really good, especially for the game, because it's a really interesting unit, and the way that the list building works around it, being able to take both of them and it doesn't cost you both of your operative slots, I think is really interesting. I'm really pleased with how the top 4 is going. So we have got a shot going off here.
FD.
5 down to 3 from the FD. 2 going on to the IRG here. So we've had in the start of the game, we had a real gentleman's agreement of every dice is rolled in the box. If it's not completely flat, it gets re-rolled, and I think that is really good. It's great sportsmanship. If there's any doubt, it just gets redone, and that's just a flat rule for for both players. So it's going to stop any kind of argument. Liam, you are the people's champ, man. You made top 8 with the Wookiees. And
Wookiee's good, man.
Wookiees are good, but triple flutters is that's such a ballsy move, man. That is, you were here for a good time and apparently a long time.
Yeah. So in the other semi-final, we're still in deployment at the moment. I think maybe just the last couple of units to go down. So it's key positions. So
that game is all turn 6, right? It's all positioning until the end.
Yeah. So Lee has actually put his home KP brackets almost parallel with the central KP. So he's looking to rush forward in the turn 6 and win both those points.
So do you know what's interesting? In his top 8 game yesterday, Lee played really fast and loose with the KPs. He put his KP right towards his opponent's deployment.
So exactly the same stage.
It worked for him.
Yeah. That was a tight finish.
I was very skeptical that was going to pay off. I would but Lee has made top 4.
Yeah.
I have not, because I would have put one as a home objective. I would have sandbagged a unit at the very back. But then out of that list, what do you even leave there? Because you are losing teeth in no matter what you choose.
Well, the big challenge with that turn 6 rush though is that if he doesn't kill those buses, that's going to sit on top of the KP and you're not scoring it.
Well, they're going to displace you. They're going to block it, and
because that Blizzard list is great at KP because not only you've got Vader, but you can compulsory last with your speeder bikes and just play someone off the KP as well. But if there's a AA5 set on top of it,
he's got the AA5, and also Ollie can do the exact same tricks. Yeah. They're the same amount of activations. Yeah. They've got the exact same battle deck, because talking to Ollie in Spain, that was one of the main things he wanted from it, was a list that he already had reps with, which is the battle deck. He already knows what it's good at. Yeah. So it's interesting to see they're both choosing violence.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think violence is the way. Dave Grant would be proud.
Dave Grant would be proud. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised that we haven't heard him yet, because he is the loudest man in history.
So weirdly, on day one, all 3 of my games I played on the table next to Nav. We used to follow each other around the hall. And his game 1, he played Dave. And they were just laughing their arse off all through his game of like murder and violence. I love playing Dave next to him. He's just so funny and just enjoys the game.
Do you know what? I think part of what's great about this game as a whole, I mean, I would imagine that anybody watching this stream probably already knows that this is a part of the fun, is that everybody is laughing. Mm-hmm. There's very little like serious, like, I mean, there's people who take the game seriously, which is fine, but everybody is always there for a good time as the priority.
Yeah, even let's say that semi-final with Nav and Lee last night, it was really sweaty right at the end. It was coming down to both, but they were still laughing. You know, they talked out the end of the game very closely, but it was it was a good fun game, and very, very high level Legion play.
So Callus has just moved up to that line of sight blocker just by the objectives, which I think is a great position for him to be in, because he's got good play around the middle. So if he can get an interesting fact here, so if he can get Din into melee and then play face me, Din is locked in. He's not going anywhere. You can't withdraw from that.
And I guess the other point is, if he can get to that box and play a cunning 1-pip when he's claimed it, he's out of there.
Yep, you're not wrong. Yep, pew pew noises are always fun noises. You're not wrong.
Is that Mr. Haslam in the chat?
I think it might be.
I don't play Legion Haslam.
I mean, the originator of the Ken.
Yeah, he was the original Kenobi. If that's you, Matt Haslam, type Old World in the chat.
Okay, so Land Speeder taking the compulsory move, taking a shot.
See some crits.
Oh, Liam, it'd be great to see you at another one. Glad to hear this was the first one. You should try and come to MKGT. Or any of the other 2 days, actually. Like Andy runs a great tournament.
Okay, so that's an IRG model dead and a wound on 5th problem, I believe.
Now that is pretty clutch. If you can get wounds on him early, like Old World, there he is. So I think this is interesting, because I probably would start to try and get some ambams, because if you like we said, if you can hold off people claiming that middle box, because it's not just get to it and hold it, because if you can claim it and run away, you're going to claim it and run away. But if you can hold back, if you can claim the bounty, the secret mission, and your 2 boxes, then you've won the game.
Absolutely.
Okay, so some key measurements and checking of line of sight before the models are moving.
So Jeff has already got the Ewoks on a box and R2 on a box. So beginning of turn 2, he's going to have 2 boxes.
He is, and all he's going to do with the Ewoks is try and hide them. I would imagine with just double tap it. I would imagine with R2, like we said, he's just trying to get secret mission. So Timbo moving up. I believe that was Brother that's just moved up, so he's moved behind line of sight blocking terrain there, just to try and keep himself safe. So I think that should mean that Din's if he's gonna try the Ambam, he's gonna have to make the full speed 1 move.
Like I say, it looks, the way that Jeff's set up, and the way that Timbo's set up, Jeff has created a real nice kill zone here. You know, Timbo can't actually leverage any sort of range attack at the moment because of that big line of sight blocker in front of the box. So he's going to have to come out and present himself as a target to Jeff's, you know, reasonably strong gun line, to be fair.
And the interesting thing again is that Jeff has a longer range band. He's got range 4 as opposed to Timbo having a really strong range 3 gun line. So he's going to have to present the unit.
Yep.
And I don't think he'll have a range 3 shot. He might have a range 3 shot this turn, but it's pretty certain that Jeff is going to have range 4 shots. And with the critical, it doesn't matter what cover you have.
Exactly, yeah. And Jeff can actually afford to like fire and fade back for a couple of turns to keep Timbo at range.
As long as he can keep applying the pressure on that middle box so that he can't run away with it.
Right, sounds like we're picking order, so I'm going to go and see what command cards I play tab on.
Cool, so we're sending Chris off there just to check on the other top 4 game. We're going to try and keep you updated as much as possible on both games. So Jeff getting the CMO. So 1 critical onto the IRG, spending their protector. Doesn't take a wound. That's very nice. So go on,
guess what command card Blizzard played turn 1?
Well, Blizzard is... That's interesting, because generally with Vader you would play the 3-pip to get Darkness Descends to get the 2 surge tokens. But with Blizzard Force you're going to play Overwhelming Barrage, right?
No, Darkness Descends.
Interesting.
Played,
So I would imagine that means that looking at the deployments, Ollie has probably blocked off most of the key shots, right? Because he can only really get into... I mean, if you can get it into some Black Sun, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I think we've activated HRU and we've already knocked the shield off one of the buses, and I feel like, Lee's probably going to try and focus the bus down as soon as he can.
I mean, if you can get the raiding party leader off, that's where you want to focus your attacks.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Sister has moved up to where Brother is. Din measuring out some speed 3s. Oh, he's pulled Din. Yeah, so because Din has tactical and long shot, so he's got a range 2 gun, but you can spend an aim to get to range 3. He would then still have an aim for an attack.
Independent.
Yeah, but then the only thing is then you're leaving yourself open to the rest of the range 3 gun line. So maybe this is a turn where going into turn 2, because there's not a lot left, if anything, that Timbo has to go. I think there's maybe some storms that might take a pot shot, but for turn 2 you can play a Din card to try and go first, get your shot off, and then retreat back.
Absolutely. And you know, Mando's always those characters. You think, oh, I'm surging red saves, I should be okay. And he played Mini Cockles yesterday in the game to get into top 8. And Mini Cockles double attacked him with Yoda for 4 and 4, PS2. I'm impervious, took no wounds.
Wow.
And then Chewie punched him for 3 and did 3 wounds.
Now, I always find all the Mandalorians, they have the best defense dice in the game. They have impervious, giving them the extra attacks when there's extra dice when there's pierce. But they're not reliable.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so
it's the fickleness of red dice, unfortunately.
Yep, so Din, whoa, dice scam, bouncing. You're good there, Jeff. 5th brother taking
another one.
Took a shot.
Nearly enraged.
Oh, so I think he is enraged, right? Because he's enraged 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got the 2 wounds. So
whether he medbots those off, I'm not sure.
Yeah. See, no, he doesn't have to have received the wounds this turn. It's only if it's a multi. Because it's a multi-wound model, he doesn't have to take them off this turn. He can do it next turn. But if it was a single wound mini, it has to be the turn that mini has died. So just for anyone who hasn't played with the meds, it does get a little bit head scratcher on where you're going to put the wounds and when you activate the med droids. But that is the end of turn 1. So
it's a quick turn.
I think there's they're both in some quite strong positions here. I think Tim knows what he needs to do. He needs to play a little bit more aggressive. With Jeff, he knows exactly what he needs to do, and he's doing it. He's applying the pressure. His foot's on the gas. He's threatening 2 boxes already. He's threatening secret mission, so that's 3 victory points potentially. So Tim just needs to. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to play aggressively. He needs to get on the kill points. He needs to deny.
This could be 2 really interesting semi-finals where you think they're going to be very cagey and slow in turn 6. They could actually be quite violent games, I think.
I mean, looking at the players that we have as well, they're all very experienced, so they can choose violence. They know what they're doing.
So Jeff has played Cover and Fire, which gives out 3 orders to core, and then is the one that dishes out dodges.
Nice.
And Timbo's played Ruthless Tactics, Callus's 3-pip.
That's a great card because with Callus's 3-pip, and because he's cunning, he just wins the tie.
Yeah.
So with that, every time a unit defends an attack, it receives an observation token. If you're at your courage value, you get 2. So being a critical gun line, he is just getting those rerolls and having white dice. That's pretty key. If you can get rerolls on white dice, that's always a good thing. And then covering fire, that gives out dodges as well, if I'm not mistaken.
So when a unit performs a ranged attack, unit range 1-2 gets a dodge. So kind of the opposite of the Imperial coordinated fire, which is that aim. Back in the good old days of Legion when it's simple.
So a good thing with Jeff, he's gone for the Fleet Troopers, both squads of vets. Not the Fleet Troopers. He's gone for a Mark II. He's gone for a vet, which gives to a Mark II, and then the other vets, which gives to the 1.4. The 1.4 has LTA, which has given it an aim. Both of his vets have defend 1, so they've got a dodge. So he's tokening up early, which is what you want from a rebel gun line, because even if you're surging, white dice are still white dice, and
absolutely
they're unreliable.
And he's got the uplink on the land speeder as well. So
he's popped the uplink. Okay, so that's cleaning up his bag a little bit. There's 1 less rogue token in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim with the priority. Looks like he's going to try and get some wounds on some vets. It'd be interesting to see what portion of that unit he can see, because you can only kill minis you can see. So yeah, so do you want to just have a look at what the line of sight looks like there? So if you can only see 2 minis, no matter how many wounds you can do, you can only do 2 wounds. So I would imagine that Jeff has only put out his unit leader and that CMO, but
no, I think the way it's positioned and the way Timbo is moving, so he's got his unit leader on the box and he's positioning to probably see about 3 or 4 models, I think.
Okay. And do you know what, with the amount with critical 2, I think, and no aim, that's probably, well, he's not killing 3 models. I don't think, especially because they have a dodge. But then another thing which I think it'd be interesting to see if Jeff utilises is the fact that he's got fire supports available through those Mark IIs.
That's 4 crits. Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Nice dice.
That is some nice dice. So 4 crits,
1 wound.
1 wound on white dice, and that is first blood. No, there was an IRG that went, so that is not first blood. But
so I had a pickup game with Jack Proudston yesterday, obviously, because I'm not good enough to play top 8. We're playing key positions, and he chucked 3 hits into my single commando model on my rear key positions, and I rolled 6 blocks. Straight up 6 up saves. I just laughed my ass off.
I had a similar thing against Tom Zarowski. My Mark II was in melee with Maul. Maul swings his lightsaber, gets 5. And I save all 5. So even with Pierce, I don't die. So whilst they're going back to the bag, I'm just going to give a couple of shout outs. You can see we've got some red player and blue player tokens that are being used. These are from Comscan Gaming. They are amazing poker chips. They come in all sorts of different designs. We have That's No Moon branded ones in red and blue, so you can see who the red player and the blue player is on the streams and the battle reports, which we do put one out a month on our YouTube channel, which you're currently watching on. So if you don't already, it's really helpful if you like and subscribe to the channel. We also have the podcast, which we do every other week. If you enjoy the content we make, we have a Patreon. We have loads of wonderful supporters, of which Chris is one. It gives you access to our Discord, which is the most active, certainly UK Discord. It's not worldwide, but it is definitely one of the more busy Legion Discords. And
sometimes there's Legion chat, sometimes there's videos of many other things.
There's a lot of other stuff. If you come and join the Patreon, or just join the Discord, because we do have the Discord available for free. There's currently videos of karaoke and someone doing some Britney Spears in an interesting outfit.
They are playing the colour. Yeah, and I think obviously with the Patreon, you know, depending on the level, you get some nice bits of clothing. Tom's bought a nice hat.
Yep.
I've got a nice hoodie. I think there's some discounted event tickets.
Yep. We do OP kits if you need some for a local event, and everything that we do from the pod gets straight back into it. Like, you know, it's not cheap to run. I mean, Andy has just put on this event with a 32 player event. Every single table is stored at Andy's. He doesn't have to borrow any for these events.
And every table is different. You know, you're playing on different.
The best bit is they're all thematic.
Yeah,
like we've played in. I mean, I'm sure I can talk for both of us in that we've played in tournaments where they don't have thematic tables, and it's not as immersive. And obviously playing with little spacemen, you want it to look cool.
I played on the really like fluorescent purple and orange Ewok table.
Oh, the LSD Ewok village.
Yeah, against Josh Barry, who's painted his clones in the exact same colour scheme, so it's absolutely perfect. It was absolutely what we want to see. So I think the event kits are actually really good because the change in OP structure. You know, there is like a store kit that AMG are doing, and you've got the GTs. But if you're running a small event and you don't want to buy a store kit from AMG, you can get these ones.
Well, do you know what? At the moment, because Asmodee are moving warehouse, my local store, Tabletop Republic, couldn't get one of the OP kits, so I bought one of the ones that we make, and it means that we can still give out price support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, you know, we all like to travel to these events, and, you know, it's just even just a shiny card.
Absolutely,
is something nice to have. So some more moving from Timbo. I'm just going to find out if he's claimed any of his boxes, because I know he's based a couple of them. So I'm just going to double check. Okay, so Timbo's box still not claimed. Hello, mate.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff has claimed any of his boxes yet either. He's in base contact with both, but neither is Ewoks or R2 is actually activated yet. So we've got another shot coming in here. 2 crits there from a Mark II blaster. And another wound on the Stormtroopers there. So that was triggering a standby there, so it was a move, triggered the standby of the Mark II, and now Timbo's taking his shot. And a single crit going through there, another wound. So I'm assuming Tim couldn't get range to the unit of vets he just shot, because that's a wound on the Mark II blaster, so not able to focus fire there.
Literally, yeah. So we got our tickets. We went through the bring it by.
Just a suppression there from that attack from Jeff. These guys are playing at real high tempo, so probably about midway through turn 2 at the moment, and that reminds me to change the turn counter.
Sorry, I got distracted by seeing some friends.
That's what it's all about. Nice to come to these conventions and seeing people we haven't seen for a while and catching up, isn't it?
Yeah, you would think that, but that's my best friend I see all the time.
Well, stop wasting our fucking time, Tom.
So here we go. So again, cagey play. I don't think we've seen, other than that first shot,
So you
the
just
card
missed-
effect's not come into play, right?
No. So Tim moved up, triggered a standby on the Mark II, took a wound off the standby, and then put a wound back on the Mark II from his shot. So I don't think he could get range on the effects he'd already shot.
So he should have an observation on him as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's just shot 2 shields off of the land
Off
speeder.
the land speeder. Yeah, in a bit, mate. So I don't think that the land speeder's that bothered, right? Because it's got the gonk on it.
I
So-
don't think you shoot the land speeder. I think it's a waste of time.
I agree. With is it armor 3?
Armor 3, cover
Yeah.
2, shielded 2.
You're never going to take it off the table. Especially when if you look at the threat saturation, there's other things which are much more key.
Yeah, for this mission, exactly. And
Yeah.
the thing is, if you do get some wounds on it, Jeff's going to drive it away, and you ain't going to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to triple move, 3 speed 3s. You're long gone.
Right, I'm going to see what's happening in the Ollie League game.
Okay, so just going to go get another report on the other game. Oh, going to give a shout out to the London gaming group. Everybody in that group is great except John Doom. But we will keep it PG from this point.
So we got. Oh, sorry.
So how's the other top 4 game looking, Chris?
Very different, very cagey actually. The swoops have moved up and taken some shots, but there's a lot of standing and staring and looking at the board and thinking from both players.
So most people would traditionally play their bikes really aggressively. Ollie was always a little bit different in that he would be happy to do kind of donuts in the car park, as he would say, for the first 4 or 5 turns of the game, and then just zoom in at the end. So interesting that they're both looking at that school of thought, because I would imagine that the swoops are going to... You can't stress enough the displacement is key, because if you can, even if you send your bikes off to the safe KP, you can displace them off, they still count as a unit, they're going to claim and deny you claiming.
Yeah, I mean, if the swoops are close enough that next turn they can take, a shot, an overrun and a second overrun, so he could very well be looking to focus down the core pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So shooting a move. So again, Jeff leveraging that range 4, shooting and fading away.
As perfect guerrilla tactics, right? That's how rebels.
You calling Jeff a gorilla?
No, I'm saying that's just why rebels play. So if you were playing this game right now, Chris, what are you trying to do? There's no striking distance for any of his melee threats. The IRG are literally there just as a bullet sponge.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard, because you could either throw Sister forward to draw the fire away if she's got a lot of command cards. I think you just continue to play cagey and try and get some pot shots. I think this is all playing a little bit into Jeff's hand. quite nicely. He's from deployment, it's going his way, I think.
I think probably the box putting down. You know, Jeff put his first box on this side, didn't he? And,
Yep.
I think I would have matched that with a box to this side of the table to then see where. Because if he then puts the second box over there, I'd probably put my second box over here, and it's like we're going to
Yeah.
fight over these 3 boxes, and I don't care about the middle box. I don't care about that box.
Well, I think that's what you have to do, because when Jeff's list is perfect to split himself as thin as he wants, because the Ewoks don't care, because he doesn't have underworld connections, so they're just a unit on their own. R2 doesn't care. So at this point, the only thing that I think Tim could do with the Ewoks is try and suppress them at the end of the game so that they drop the box. But you need range on that.
You've got the command card, obviously.
You do, yeah.
So you still need to get a shot.
He would need to rally as well. Well, if you saved it to the end, they're going to get 2. They're only courage 1, so they would, in theory, drop the box.
Yeah.
However, as the Imperial player, you don't ever want to split yourself too thin, because you're going to lose synergies, and something that a lot of people, I think, do, which is potentially a mistake, is splitting your fire. Focusing down specific units, I think, works the best. So playing something like Liam's Wookiee list, you need to focus on one squad of Wookiees. Yeah, they're going to get a move, but they're only going to move once, and then if you keep firing on that, you take out the teeth, because even 2 Wookiees can be pretty devastating.
Absolutely. So Liam, Ollie and Lee are playing hemmed in key positions hostile. So Lee is the blue player, so obviously hemmed in kind of favours him quite strongly there, but he's been quite aggressive with the placement of his home KP, so parallel to the centre KP. So it's going to be a real turn 6 rush to the middle, or it's going to be a very fight over the middle early, depending on how they want to play it. They're still in the sort of first half of turn 1, whereas these guys are, racing to the end of turn 2.
They're steaming in a little bit quicker. So, so the fleet troopers with the binoculars, they're going to spot an aim onto the land speeder, which has good offensive output, the way that he's kitted it out, and then staying out of line of sight just to make sure that they're not going to get shot.
Yeah, you're going to see that land speeder compulsory shoot recover, or
absolutely,
shoot recover pivot with wedge compulsory.
Well, I think last turn he moved with the compulsory, then attacked and then recovered.
Yeah.
So I believe all of the weapons are currently up.
Yeah.
Little discussion over who's already activated.
Yeah, obviously Jeff's played this quite well with his core coming out. He's saving, he's got an order on the land speeder, and he's got both octaves in the bag and the sweeps. So
so he can just. It's interesting because I think at this point you probably want to save your core again to get a better shot once it presents itself. So go into the bag. If you pull an operative,
go
R2, fine. If you pull a swoop, you can kind of go around the back lines, try and stay out of line of sight, just so that you can overrun as much as possible. Now I'm not sure who the best overrun targets would be. If it would be the IRG, try and get some of those wounds off, and then that's less that they can have available to Guardian, to try and get something on Brother, to try and displace the rest of his army so that he has to cohere in line of sight.
I think what you'll find is he's going to kite those bikes for the next couple of turns, take a shot, move away, take a shot, move away, and then save them to the end if he needs to. If he runs them in too soon, they're going to get blenderized off the board.
True. I think because obviously they have cover 1, they have white defense dice. They have independent aim or dodge, so it's his choice. I would imagine 90% of the time you're taking a dodge, but then surging defense. Well, they crit to block.
They crit to block, yeah, of course,
they do crit to block. But having surging white dice, I wouldn't want that against the Timbo's gun line. It's an aggressive gun line. It can tear through the bikes.
Because the problem is, he's got no way of getting orders on his bikes ever, because he hasn't got underworld connections.
Yeah.
So that's why I think when they come out, you can't get them too close, or they're going to get shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Timbo's got the priority because of cunning. So just going up. So he's going to get 2 activations, even with a pass.
Well, even if so, the other thing is, do you try and send Sister after Din? I mean, at the minute, looking at the distances, he's not got the range because Sister is in the ball of the Imperials, and Din is just to the south of the middle point. But if she's in melee with Din's command cards count as 1 extra, which is nice.
Yeah, interrogate's great, isn't it? That's 2 wounds, I think, there.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, so that's the Mark 2 down to 1 wound left.
Whoa.
So getting activations is key for Tim. That's what he needs.
Yeah, it's. There's a very real chance that it comes to kill points, but if you can get those guns away from the middle, it gives you more of an opportunity to get the box. This is exactly what we expected with the claim and runaway. So the Ewoks, which are just outside of the camera, have claimed the objective, and they've moved back towards the Sith temple that the land speeder is sitting on top of, so that you can't see it. Timbo has passed, and R2 has claimed the box and moved up.
He's going the opposite direction to the Ewoks going, ironically.
He's just trying to get that secret mission. So Timbo moving Agent Callus, who's going to move. With the move, he's tactical, so he's going to take a shot into the mark.
Sharpshooter 1, is he?
Sharpshooter 1, and he's got Pierce. So
and that's dead Mark 2.
Yeah, okay.
So
Activations off the
9-10.
table is key. Especially as we're still only in turn 2, so the game is still very young.
What does Callus throw in melee with a staff?
I think it's a rainbow with 2 blacks, I believe. But I'm just going to double check that, because as John from the London group will tell you, you shouldn't trust what I think because it's probably wrong.
If you sound convincing, people will believe you.
Well, that's how I got in this morning.
Indeed.
Andy had overslept and turned up an hour and a half later than he told me to get here.
There is a vaguely valid reason for that.
There is. So I just walked in the front door. If you do it with confidence, you can get away with anything. I didn't have a pass.
Confidence and high vis normally gets you in anyway.
Absolutely. So Callus's config is a red, 2 black, and a white, regardless of the configuration.
I mean,
looks like we're eyeing up a Din Djarin shot, because I can see an operative order token there. Oh no, it's the bikes. Sorry, that's the support. So it looks like it might be a bit more aggressive with a swoop than I would have thought.
It's going to be a
compulsory shoot and then
a move somewhere.
Yep, I think so.
Maybe maybe Callus is the man to go and beat R2 to death in the corner.
I don't think Callus can get there.
Yeah, he definitely can. It's only turn 2. He's moved, so he's actually level with the centre table there. So you get 1.
Well,
2.
the other thing is, if he's moving up there, because he has a range 3. Yeah, I did get a rule right finally. So if he gets into range 3 and he shoots R2 and he doesn't kill him, he's taking a suppression. If anything else is in range, he has to shoot that.
Does he get charged on his 1 pip?
Yeah, I believe he does.
So that's what I'll be doing. I'll double move, shoot him, don't kill him, double move, turn 6, bash him over the head.
Yeah, if you can get there,
if you measured it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you can get there,
it comes down to the fact: has Timbo just conceded the point that he's going to score the box and seek a mission, and he's already got 2 points, and so he's fighting over
If
boxes.
it was me playing the game, I'm not diverting resources. I'm focusing on the middle. The same with the Ewoks. I've ignored them. There's the 3 boxes towards the middle. He's already made sure that it's basically a range 1 bubble from his second box. So range 1 either way is the other boxes. So I would just focus there, and then try and deny the bounty. And then you've just got to go kill points. And at the moment, Timbo's got the he's got activations off the table. So
that's 4 hits and that's 4 wounds, 1 on the RG and 3 storms going there.
Wow.
That's a big shot. No saves at all on red dice.
wow.
Or I think there's like 4 surges maybe.
So does that leave us just with a unit leader? Oh no, because you said 4, so that would be the 3. So
you've got Medbot.
Oh, okay. So it should be a heavy and a unit leader, depending on if it was the Medbot squad or not.
Timber giving us the thumbs down. Red dice bad.
That was just all the regular core, right?
One on the RG.
Yeah. So it's just the 3 regular bodies, though, not the heavy or Cool. Yeah.
Leader, heavy.
Yep. Okay. So that squad still has a leader, the heavy, and the medic.
So Tim's currently down 2 full IRG models.
Yep.
2 storms from 1 unit and 3 storms from another. So he's actually losing. Although he's knocked an activation out, he's kind of losing the attrition battle here.
I mean, the only thing is though, until that last model has gone, it doesn't count for points. So
No.
So you played quite a lot of IRG, especially with the list last year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a world's invite with
Got
that?
world's invite. Yeah.
So if you were in this position, because you, like I said, you were running a very similar list, but instead of the Inquisitors, you had
Grandad Power.
IG and Grandad. So would you be cautious about what you're guardianing, or would you just commit them to being dead?
Yeah, I think in Tim's list, I'm using the RG to guardian brother and sister and the Kiros. Like the storms, the T21s, I'm not that fussed if I lose 3 models, because the T21 is still rolling 4 white dice critical too.
Yeah,
that's the most important model in that unit. Whereas, the rest of the resource needs to go on your heavy hitters, I think.
Well, I suppose now that squad is down to a medic, the heavy, and the unit leader, that's when you would start to guardian.
Yeah. And I think, then there's an interesting play of do you medic an RG back, or do you medic the model? And I think you medic the RG back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To give you the extra guardian. I know it sounds a bit weird, but
yeah. So sister has activated and taken a dodge, which would give brother an aim.
no. So the
Oh, no, it's
card
the other
is
way
he
around.
gets
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
she gets 1 off of him.
Yeah.
It only works that way, not backwards.
It's one of those ones that most of the time I forget that that's even a permanent effect and don't do it on myself. So I normally rely on everyone else remembering, and then I just take the negative effect of not having it myself.
well, Jeff showed he's a top tier player, but actually remembered it's hostile environment in the turn 1, because I never remember it's hostile environment.
I mean, hostile environment is clear conditions plus, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and that is on theme with being Stabcast Europe, right? Because those guys are always forgetting the conditions from their battle reports.
Yeah. This is a shot into Krennic. 3 into Krennic.
Oh, 3 into Krennic.
Oh no, it's Storm, sorry. And that means 2 more Stormtroopers.
Yeah, so this looks like Jeff is just taking, just trying to take minis out of squads. If he can take the teeth out, then that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's got the reposition compulsory move. So what he's done is he's attacked, then recovered to get back the weapons, then compulsory moved.
He used wedge for the free pivot.
Yep.
So he gets free pivot, and when they recover, he gets that back.
Yep.
As well as all the guns, as well as the uplink. Yeah. And
So
I mean, there was a lot of hate against this list on the podcast. Jeff's obviously piloting it really well. but it's throwing a lot of dice into Tim's, diminishing core.
Yep.
To hide him behind a very small line of sight blocker there.
I think you can never underestimate the pilot of the list, and I think Jeff obviously downplayed how he felt about the list as well, but the fact that he's got an unbelievable amount of reps, he's been to Worlds both times. I'd be worried coming against pretty much anything that he's playing.
I think he top 8 MKGT both times so far? He definitely did the first year.
I believe so.
And he was running Tempest last year.
He was, yeah.
Degenerate.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay, this looks like there might be quite an aggressive move coming in.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like
His brother. I
looks
think.
like Brother is going to be making an aggressive move. Yep, so there he is. He's making that first move and then taking a dodge. Now so what I think is good about Brother is that he's got, because he has block, so spend the dodge, you still get
So he's taking a shot off.
okay, so before the dodge he's triggered the standby.
3 crits.
From the look of it, Tim didn't realise that the standby was there, so two more wounds. Okay, so a move, this might change what the
So he medded the first wound off last turn.
Yeah.
So he's now on 2 wounds again.
so this might change what Tim's second action is. He might still dodge, he might not.
Now he's getting blasted by the FD.
Yep, which is going to shoot recover.
Full boat.
So heavy cover and a dodge.
Oh, the red dice have come back to Tim.
Yep, so saving out on that.
And now he's enraged, so he
But
doesn't care about suppression.
But he has used his dodge, and Mando is still to go. At this
and
point,
he's the bounty target as well.
yeah. So at this point, do you try and ambam? Do you try and get into melee and then play a 1-pip on the next turn to try and get some clobbering off?
So I think he's still. I think if I'm Jeff here, you shoot 5th again with the core, and then you try and finish him off with Din.
Well, yeah.
If he can get that bounty, then the middle box is irrelevant.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because then he's in
Secret mission, bounty, 2 boxes.
Yeah. Okay, so Din has moved. Din's got 2 aims because he's got tactical and 1 from his independent.
Yeah.
That's why he's moving to that. Yeah. 2 ends on this.
Moving to deny any cover, I would imagine. 2 more on Brother.
wounds.
Ooh. Heavy. So at this point, I think the key for Jeff is to keep your cool, because I'm sure we've all been there where you can see your avenue for taking the victory and you get a little bit excited and then that's when you make silly mistakes. And I would say that personally, silly mistakes is mainly what loses me games. Is getting overly excited, think this is my win condition, and then not doing it.
Yeah, I did exactly that yesterday. Played a game. I played 4 games of key positions this weekend. My last game yesterday, I just forgot to move turn 5 to get close enough to move to keep position on my units, and it nearly cost me the game. And it's just me not being good enough.
Well, especially at a convention when it's a long
weekend.
3 days.
Yeah, and a lot of late nights drinking as well.
Well, the drinking is self-inflicted.
Yeah,
because that is fully optional.
Yeah.
Unless you ask Ollie, then
There's
it's
a
not
lot of peer
optional.
pressure.
Yeah, big time.
So we're going into turn 3. So 5th brother's got. I mean, I guess Jeff is going to go 1 pip if I'm killing.
I would, and I would
yeah.
probably do Dins because it gives him relentless.
So you can move, shoot, and then move back hopefully to keep himself safe.
Especially because you've got jump, so you can jump. You can jump behind the line of sight blocker. See, it's interesting because with with Tim, he's got a lot of command card choices. I think brothers are all done. So it's at this point where you have to really decide what you want to do. I think it would be interesting to see if ISB Investigation comes out, because at that point he can call out 1 pips, so 1 pips don't go for the next turn.
He has got the card that they roll 1 extra red dice when defending, which might keep brother safe.
But does he have that? That's the because there's a lot of good command cards, but he's got so much choice.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the units alone, he's got 3 from Krennic, 3 from Callus, 4 from the Inquisitors, let alone the other 6 that he has access to. So a lot of choice. I would imagine that he doesn't have any of the generic cards, so that would be how I would run it personally.
Same.
Oh, is it going to be? So my guess, actually thinking about it, would be Krennic's 1 pip, because it gives you a face down order on a unit card, right?
It gives you free. So Krennic gets an order, and you get a free face down that you can look. You choose them randomly, but you can look at them any time. So exactly what we played, and Jeff's played push for 2 orders. So the odds are he's going to have at least 1 operative token on that face down.
So.
And he's got cunning.
Yeah, so cunning would be why you would play it, to try and get brother out of any kind of harm's way.
Yeah.
It is a real gamble, because you're not guaranteeing that you're getting that. But if he pulls out the 3 and none of them are operatives, that means that in the bag you should have a pretty good chance of pulling out an operative token.
No, because you can have Krennic. You can
he's
have
got
3
4 core.
So you can have 1 core, 1 IRG, 1 commander, and so you've still got 5 in the bag.
Yeah.
It's still a bit of a lucky dip.
So he pulled a core. Interesting.
Off of the ones he could
Yeah,
look
off
at.
of the ones he could look at.
Chosen to go with that.
So it's going to be a core with a medic, I would have thought.
Yeah,
try medic a wound. So Jeff just went with push.
Yeah.
Okay, so his orders went to the
uplink on the land speeder.
Yep. So his orders went to the fleets
The Mark
and a Mark II.
Yeah. And then
So that Mark II must be out of range of the vets, because otherwise you would have ordered the vets.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
actually a
the
long
Mark
way
II.
away. Yeah, because he shot with the vets and moved back to
Of
get him
course
out of
he
range.
did. Yeah. So
And actually, I feel like he could maybe have cohered a model.
Yeah.
Kind of forward and sideways, out
That's-
of line of sight, but yeah.
this is all shoulda, woulda, couldas, right?
Yeah.
Because as
And
much
we're
as
talking a good game. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
saying it. So.
yeah, I mean, this is the beauty of the stream. You've got perfect information. You're not under the pressure of making those decisions.
Absolutely.
Whereas it is actually in game.
And I think I've heard a lot of people say it's good if you are being streamed to watch your game back and look at what you did wrong. Because I know when I played a game, I know there's mistakes, but some of them you don't even remember.
I mean, since making the battle reports, like in the last year, I've recorded a lot of my own games, and I think it's made me a better player being able to watch it back, because you spend the whole time thinking in the moment, and then it's only when you watch it back and you have the over the top view and you have perfect information that you can really like improve as a player, because you're paying attention, you're learning, hopefully anyway, and not making the silly mistakes that you do.
I mean, especially when people are commentating, even if we're not right in what we're suggesting, at least it's something else to think about when you're watching the game back.
Well, it's definitely something, like you find that there's always things that you would have missed originally that, oh no, I didn't think of that, like maybe that is what I need to think about in future, even just as an option. Okay, so the core making a move, I think they're going to cohere to get the medbot. I think it makes sense, because you've got to preserve that activation, because as soon as Din gets pulled from that bag,
and I think Tim is playing a bit of a game because Jeff played push. Din hasn't got an order, so he knows he can at least go once to get the med wound off. That's more valuable than moving a
Yeah.
one wound.
I agree.
operative.
I agree. So, out of Jeff's available units, we've seen that he's played two generic, a generic 3 and a 2.
Yes.
Are you taking Blast off, or are you leaving that at home? Because that's quite key if you come across. So if Jeff, for example, goes in the final against Lee, he can get Vader's Mighted, put on a piece of terrain. R2 can't climb, so he can't do anything if he gets in that. So
It's interesting, yeah, because you're definitely taking Din's ones. Yeah.
I'd take all 3 of Din's cards personally. Like I know Whistling Birds is a bit hit or miss.
And I think generally the consensus is you do take Blast off if you've got R2.
I
Because
think you
why else
should.
are you?
Yeah.
Red dice are back. Tim's a bit happy.
There we go. There was a sigh of relief from Tim there as the Mark II shot into Fifth Brother and then moved back behind line of sight. But there was 3. He saved all 3. So this is definitely a relief because that's not a position that you want to be in. So
We're going with Palace. That's command.
that looks like an IRG. Yeah. So IRG are going to be moving up, and they're going to move and dodge, and they're going to be moving to make sure that they're in range of Brother
Guarding,
because at the moment that is the most crucial piece. Interesting that Krennic, all he has done is stay still. He's not moved at all.
I think he's literally there for the compel.
I think you're absolutely right.
So I've run a few Krennic lists, and I feel like you want to put at least binocs on him so he's actually doing something.
Yeah, I mean,
Otherwise, you're literally like, I might as well take no actions.
it's frustrating because he's a really cool model. He's got some really good command cards, and if you're not taking his command cards or Death Troopers, he's really losing effectiveness for his points.
It's an activation it's got benefits, but I like to run him with Death Troopers for a relay, so you can always
Do you know
bounce
what?
an order around.
I got quite excited about running a Krennic list the other day, which was Krennic, 4 Death Troopers, Iden, and just, I don't know, 3 Snow Troopers, because then you can have the best tack strike ever. with your entourage, you're getting 4 Death Troopers with steady and tactical.
Size 2.
But then I think after that one turn, that list
doesn't do a lot.
Doesn't do a lot. It's got surging red dice in defense, which is good, but that's about it. So, do you think that you're going to be attacking? I think he's definitely. Well, as you know, Liam, right? He's got Krennic's 2-pip. You played him yesterday. So, with your target selection here, with Timbo, you can see that he can see some vets. He can see Mando, and he can see the pizza gun. What is your target priority? Because I think with your crit 2 and diminishing additional dice, you're never going to get through Mando.
I think he's going to try and kill.
It's got to be the vets, right?
Yeah, there's 3 models left. I don't think you can see one of them, so it's going to be like 2 crits, hopefully kill 2. Unit leaders left, kill the activation. Then you're
Which would
back
make
at
sense because if you can kill them, you're at parity, which is good. You've got more points off the board than he's taken, because Din doesn't have comms relay, so he can't pass orders off.
So the player's working really cleverly there to get a line of sight on all 3. So
I think what's key in all these games, which is something that I found really helpful from Andy, was there's another. There you go. That's a wound on the vets. What I found really key was declaring your intention. So I want to move this unit to be just within range 3 of this unit.
Or exactly out.
I want to move so that I can see all of these minis. And working as, because realistically, it's a game between 2 people, it's a bit of a partnership. You want the best game for both parties.
It speeds the game up as well, isn't it? When you're helping to measure ranges.
It does. And there's less gotchas because they always feel bad. Even if you're the one doing it, it feels bad. So, in fact, I would say especially if you're the one doing it. So, I would say that if you're looking for a takeaway, the sportsmanship there is really key.
So Timbo's now pulled an operative. So I'm guessing this is going to be brother. Do you move him back to try and get him safe here?
Is he touching a box? Because do you claim a box and move back? That's... Is brother touching a box?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, fine. Okay, so brother is not touching the box. Okay, so it's a little hard to see because the mat has orange markings from the lava, but there is a little bit of a distance between the box. A lot of these games end in with a lot of time just thinking between your activations, because you have everything is a pretty key move at this point. Smallest mistake and you're punished for it. Timbo just working out where he wants to go. So he's going with sister. Seventh sister. He's thinking about sister. He's measuring up the double move to the objective. So at this point, he could draw the fire on sister, who can move to the objective, which means that Jeff then has to decide if he's going to attack brother or play for the objective, because sister could play the 1-pip. Off she goes.
So in the Lee and Ollie game,
Yeah.
turn 2.
Okay.
Lee played Fear and Dead Men.
Oh, okay.
Ollie played Ploy, and Vader's taken 5 wounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 of 8 is pretty
Yeah.
heavy in turn 2.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're going for it. You know, you've got
Yep.
Bus right in the middle. You've got Vader's. Vader's just killed all but one of the Black Stun squads.
I think if Ollie can kill Vader, that ends the game. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I
Because
think so.
because I would imagine that at this point he's probably played Vader the Blizzard 2-pip. He's probably played Overwhelming Barrage,
Yeah.
and then that means that Lee would lose every single command card.
He's got no one other than his Courage 1.
Yeah. So they're just panicking. There we go. IRG losing another model. So Jeff doing his compulsory move with the land speeder. Back up on the top of the of the Sith temple.
And he sent her the full version of the Hamilton "You'll Be Gone" karaoke last night. Sorry, Louisa.
So yeah, I think Jeff's probably going to spend the rest of the game just skirting around with the land speeder, doing the free pivot. Well, the compulsory has to be at the start or the end.
Yeah.
So you make sure you've got a shot, or you're a pivot away from getting a shot, because you've got to start or end your move with activation with the move.
Yeah.
So he's going to move, and then I would imagine shoot, recover.
I think pace of play is pretty good. We're coming to the end of turn 3. We've got an hour left on the round.
Yeah, we've got an hour and a half, and turn 0 takes up quite a good chunk of that. I think the rule of not having a visible clock is a mistake in my opinion. I don't think there was ever really that much of an issue in competitive play with slow play.
The thing for me is not showing the time makes it impossible to manage slow play.
Well, I think it probably makes slow play worse because you're unintentionally doing it. So Jeff activating R2, trundling along to the to Timbo's deployment.
Six suppression.
Or 6 suppression. So Timbo's going to rally or try and rally 6 on a core.
Yeah. Can't compel if he panics.
No. So 1 was out the box, getting re-rolled.
They do not panic.
Wow. Okay, they do not panic. Because Krennic is courage 2.
Yeah. Talus is courage 2.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he must have rallied 3, right?
Yeah. It's going to be a compel, recover to clear the suppression. So you compel, take a suppression to move, and then recover.
Do you though? Because
I think that's what.
I think it looks like he's.
Yeah. I think he's compelling them to the centre box.
And then recovering.
Yeah, because then you can hopefully claim.
So again, he's threatening that middle. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. So.
Because that's 2 right there. And they're all behind.
Yeah. So.
Here's the one purple.
Yeah. So just discussing the range 2 for the compel from Krennic, and then moving to the middle box and taking a recover. So exactly right. I mean, you're a better player than me that you could see that's the right move.
He told me that yesterday. That's the plan.
Well, there you go. You can be firmly back down in the
in the bottom bracket,
in the bracket where you belong. Yeah.
Yeah, got smashed by my little brother who finished 9th yesterday.
No.
Mini Cockles missed out on top 8.
Do you know what? I was so gutted for him finishing 1 just below the bubble.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit devastating when
I should
SOS
never have
does it.
reduced him into this game. No.
Do you know what? He's so much fun to play against. I played him at LGT and then at I played him both times at LGT, and he was playing variations of the same list. And the first time I played him with Maul, Pikes, Cad Bane. And I won 4 boxes to 2 on recover. So 4 boxes to 1, sorry. But it was a lot closer than that sounds. So that when I got paired with him last year, he was downplaying how close it was. He's like, "Oh man, got to play you again. You beat me last time." It was so close. Like, I think it was getting Chewie and Yoda off the table. At that point, he's
been playing that list for a while now, and he's really got it down.
He's really good with it.
Yeah, really good player. So and that's a horrible list to play into. You know, it's got so much objective play.
Absolutely. There we go. So Din Djarin. Ooh. So he's eyeing up the speed 3 move. So I think this would be a double move into melee.
So I think Timbo's done quite well here because 5th Brother's in heavy cover, he's got a dodge, and he's in guarding range. So you've got to get more than 5 through.
So it's putting you off making that shot. So
and he's not actually shooting, didn't he? He's shooting the storms now, I think.
Yeah. So he's playing the objective. He's keeping them off that middle box.
And that's that unit of 3 that he just compelled up. That's got that shot off the board. So.
Which is the right choice. If you can stop Timbo from getting that middle box, it means that you're then. Well, if you can get the middle box, that gives you 3. That gives Jeff 3. So at that point, brother gets hidden and buried in the outer line of sight, and then it just comes down to kill points. And at the moment, I think
it's going to be Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff would still be winning on kill points right now.
The unit of storms is with the heavy.
Well, unit of storms is more than than a Mark II. Okay, so some storms moving to heavy cover.
He's going to shoot the land speed. I think that's a mistake.
I think he's going to shoot the Ewoks. Because if you can get to range 3, you're putting suppression on. The unit leader's not touching the cover.
No, he's going for the land speed.
First wait. 2 pets, please. Actually, we'll save.
Yeah, you. You're right.
Okay, it's 1 wound.
Is on the land speeder. So both shields gone on the land speeder.
It's 6 health.
I believe so. Let me just check because the resilience value will be interesting because with all the critical, you don't care about the armor.
Oh, do you know what I'm looking for here? I'm looking for Krennic to walk around the corner and finish the land speeder off with his gun. That'd be great.
This gun's actually quite
Yeah,
good.
Rainbow Surge crit, Pierce 1,
Yeah, it's
Sharpshooter 1.
It's not bad.
Because that land speeder's been.
Yeah, so it would take all the cover out of the land speeder.
Jeff's looking to move up and punish that unit of storms now. He's got a
Yeah.
full vet squad coming.
So the land speeder is 6 health and resilience of 4. It's one of the very few rebel units that I don't own.
If Jeff gets good dice rolls, it could be another mod off the unit.
Well, it's got the critical on it as well. Liam, these are currently on our YouTube. If you go under the live tab, you can rewatch any of the streams that we've had over the weekend. But we will also re-upload them just to the main feed. So Callus activating from one of the face down orders on the card. Oh, okay. So this looks like a little bit of Din counter. So again, offering up a new target that's not got a bounty.
He's looking to finish off that unit of 2.
Yep.
2 Pierce 1, so that's going to be a dead.
Yeah.
Unit.
Dead squad. Now, so that's taken away the coordinate to the FD as well. So good target selection. That's taking away guns off the middle as well. So just measuring up from swoops to the storms by the objective. Did he take a independent dodge? I think he did. I mean,
on the sweeps,
Yeah.
independent aim.
independent aim. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's already got an aim. So does he at this point take an aim for action 1, take a shot, and then compulsory away?
It looks like he's going to do a handbrake turn.
It does look like he's going to do a handbrake turn. You're not wrong.
Oh. The Witch King of Angmar's here.
Yep. Because we are at the convention, there's been multiple different things. I've seen Gandalf today. I've seen some stormtroopers, and then the Witch King clanking around in the background. I don't know if you could hear that on the stream.
And you also got Andy Terrell in a NFL umpire's jersey.
He told me he was waiting for someone to stunner and then pin someone so they could drop to the floor and tap them out.
Oh wow!
Oh,
3 crits.
wow, that is a great roll.
There's another
Dead hot.
storm unit off the table.
Dead unit. Now, I think if we were speculating here, and that is literally the only reason we are here, I would say that this is turning in Jeff's favour. But Timbo is only really losing the chaff. He still has 3 of the 3 really key pieces. He just needs to not give up the bounty. I think that's the main key here.
But even then, even if he gets the middle box, he's losing on kill points at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Big time.
Or Krennic moving up.
Oh yes.
The hero of the Empire.
Yeah. The hero we need.
So Krennic has just double moved up to touch the box. So that was a double move to touch the box.
Yeah.
I think that's who's going to claim that.
Yeah, Tim doesn't actually have any boxes claimed yet.
Yeah. So I think Tim was just saying that if he scrubs out this round, he's going to sleep. Yeah, he's going to sleep under a table. He's got the.
We've got whiskey to drink.
He's got a scarf covered in badges. Yep, 10 a.m. Well, actually, it's quarter past 11. But Timbo's been drinking since he got here. He basically didn't sleep. He's not sobered up. This is what happens if you come over to the UK for some Legion. You're going to get some serious fun times. Good games of Legion.
Good thing you didn't.
2 with the FD cannon. Another storm. He's lost the T21.
How is he so fucking away?
So down to just the unit leader on the squad that shot at the land speeder. It's all Jeff to finish out now, so with his Ewoks. Oh, it looks like it might be an aggressive. He was measuring up an aggressive move with his Ewoks there. Yeah, Chris, we're going to be changing the map and all of the table in the next round. Unfortunately, this particular map does wash out the contrast. But that is the end of round 3.
Wow, turn 4 already.
Yeah, so going into turn 4. I think at this point, I'm personally probably playing ISB Investigation because you don't want to leave it too late.
Yes, I will.
So 1 pip off.
The 1 pip off.
Din's 1 pip and Seventh Sisters 1 pip. Can't improve it.
Now Seven Sisters is pretty good. Okay, so we've got the chance cube.
It's Timbo's 1 priority
Yep.
again. So he's had priority every turn so far.
Every turn.
I think in this situation, I mean,
He probably doesn't want the priority.
no, definitely not. I
Not
think
when you're out activated.
No, getting the bounty is fine, but actually, I don't think Jeff cares right now. He's winning.
I think.
He just needs to keep leveraging that.
Yeah, I think he's got enough minis, enough objectives and points that he doesn't need to. And interestingly, just when you went over to the other table, Jeff was measuring up in a really aggressive move with his Ewoks. But
Oh, really?
yeah, he was looking to
Finish off that unit leader.
that unit leader, but he just doesn't need to. So I think he made the right choice by conserving it. And moving it out of line of sight, and then that box is just completely saved. We appreciate that, Chris.
Oh, wow.
Always nice to hear the kind words.
I don't really get this double move, force pushing Din in. I guess he hasn't got disengaged, so yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have disengage. I think he's just trying to
Tie him
he's
up.
trying to preserve the activation. But interestingly, what Din does have. Let me just check to make sure that I'm not lying, because if John is watching, he will call me out. So Din's weapon has versatile, so he can shoot out of melee.
And hit it with the ambam.
Both actions. Yeah, so you can't use an ambam if you're in melee because you have to take the speed 1 move.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to do that attack, but you could still shoot out of the melee with the pistol, and then you've got you've got the you've got 3 into brother, and then you've got the bounty tied up in melee.
Yeah.
There we go. So R2 is in the deployment.
Loving life.
Jeff putting down a victory token there. Again, he's done the whole thing in the 3 or 4% of the screen that isn't covered by our fisheye angle of the table there.
And talking to Jeff yesterday, he scored secret mission on every game he's played this weekend.
Wow. Do you know what? It's funny because the threat of secret mission has been quite diluted by the meta recently. So having that come back with R2, I haven't seen R2 for a long time.
No.
Not in a generally you see him in a land speeder. The land speeder whizzes off, claims it, whizzes him back. It's an expensive way of doing it. So a lot of people don't really play that way anymore. And I know back LGT maybe 2019, 21 maybe. There was a lot of R2 back in the Rexstar days. There was always R2, and he would just be the other end of the table, trundle along, and you're losing. And it's frustrating if that's how you lose. And Jeff has played this absolutely perfectly. He could completely separate his 2 objectives, separate end of the table, and then to have 2 objective points just completely uncontested is how to do it.
Yeah, Timbo's just basically said that's game. So he's gone with the Storms on the box and he's failed their rally.
Oh,
And they've not claimed. So if he could rally, he could claim move, or because you can't compel.
Yeah.
His second action has to be your first action.
I'll be honest. I think Tim's had a real rough way that it's all kind of laid out. Like being able to split your objectives, having like we say, having the 3 objectives with R2 and Secret Mission means that it was a little bit of an uphill battle, and he had to play really aggressively.
Yeah.
Jeff has, to his credit, played an absolute blinder in that he's playing really aggressive kill box in the middle.
Yeah.
He's got the swoops to threaten if he just did decide to kind of split something off. I think at this point in the game we'd probably start to see the swoops have more of an effect on the game by playing that a little bit more aggressively now that he can afford to do it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to realise about the versatile and try and claim that bounty, or if he's just going to try and get him off the table. Because if he doesn't need the bounty,
I don't think he needs it at this point. I think he finishes off that Stormtrooper model, and then the only person who can go and get it next is Krennic. He's only 6 health.
Yeah,
White Surgeon saves.
That's the frustration with Krennic is the white save. I think if he had because Sharpshooter 1, Rainbow Pierce 1, it's not bad for a single mini. It's not great. You can tell he's one of the earlier models in the game.
Absolutely.
A little bit of power creep going on.
This is a shot into that single Stormtrooper model.
I think that single Stormtrooper is not long for this world. 2 crits, got 50-50. Yep. That's another activation off the table.
And then sensibly moving away out.
Yep. It's the smart move. It is absolutely the correct choice.
So I think the Ollie Lee game is pretty violent. Ollie's, I didn't realise, but I've been over there and looked, and he can actually touch both the front, his home KP and the KP of one bus, which he's doing at the moment.
A lovely touch. Absolutely lovely. Chris, so we can run down the player lists real quick for you. So Timbo has got double Inquisitors, both with push, with Inquisitorial training. He has got Krennic with nothing. He has got Agent Callus with the bow staff. He has 4 squads of T-21 Stormtroopers, 2 of them with medics, and then he's got IRGs with Protector. Jeff has got full Rebel soup with 2 vets, 2 Mark IIs, a squad of fleets, a squad of Ewoks, a squad of swoops with, I believe they have jammers on there. No, they're naked.
Yeah.
Then he's got the FD with link targeting array and overcharge generator. He's got land speeder with the Gonk droid, the rocket, wedge, the ion gun, and the HQ uplink. So he has just been recover as one of his actions every single turn. Then he's got R2, hero of 1,000 devices, and Din Djarin. So Din has got tenacity, comms jammer, stims, jetpack, and the Ambam.
All the gear.
Yeah, all the gear. He has kitted him out, and I think if you're going to take him, I think you have to kit him out. I don't think he's ever taken fairly naked. And then in the other top 4 game, we have Ollie versus Lee. So Lee is playing Blizzard Force with Commander Vader, which is the best iteration of Blizzard Force ever, with the Infinite Courage, which is 2 Snows with med droids, 2 HRUs with the 2 range 4 guns, so it's a triple red, triple black at range 4. 4 speeder bikes. It's nasty. And then Ollie is playing double bus, 4 Black Sun, triple swoops. The land speeder taking another 2 wounds there from.
Land speeder's got no shields left and 3 wounds on it.
Yeah, so he's one away from something falling off it.
45 minutes.
OP Vader was not better because he doesn't have infinite courage, and you've got to pay the tax of having a officer. This is the eternal debate of which one is better. But
Only 2 force powers.
yeah, only 2 force powers, less health.
Yeah.
Infinite courage for your whole army
Yeah.
is amazing. And yeah, I think the proof was in the pudding, right? The highest finishing Blizzard Force was a Commander Vader Blizzard Force at Worlds 2 years ago, or last year's Worlds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Commander Vader, Blizzard won every big tournament in the UK last year.
yeah. And it looks it could still be
again.
it could be in to win this one. Certainly in the running. Top 4. Lee was going into today. Lee was the only undefeated player.
So I think Timbo, all he has left on the table now is Krennic.
It's the
Palace,
characters, right?
and one
Couple
full,
of
one full
stormtroopers.
storm unit.
But the non-medic squad.
Yeah.
Is it just a tiny European meta? No, not really. We have some of the biggest tournaments, some of the biggest tournaments in the world, right? There was only LVO that was bigger than MKGT, and that was won by Commander Blizzard Force, Commander Vader.
And I still think we won.
Oh, rough. So getting additional dice and still taking a wound on Sister there. Timbo just getting to the rummiest part of the.
No, I refilled it with just whiskey.
Oh, he's
every time I drink it, like it's mixed, and it's
he's refilled his can of Coke just with whiskey. So he's taking a swig, thinking it's Coke or mixed drink, and it's just a big mouthful of whiskey.
Well, our weekend started on Thursday, even in the hotel, drinking a bottle of whiskey, playing poker, and it's kind of just carried on in that vein, really.
I'll be honest, I'm amazed that you guys made it to 2 a.m., let alone 5 a.m. yesterday.
It's now I remember I should have booked Monday off work.
almost like you've been compulsive rubber
I think Jeff has just moved his land speed right the way there to keep it safe.
Yeah, absolutely he has. There you go. Timbo getting a core that's dead. The IRG, there is still one model, yeah. And I think that guy is probably going to move and dodge because he. Oh no!
He's just going for it.
Is he double moving into melee?
He's going for the centre box. He's probably got a very long Hail Mary play here.
Yep. I think at this point, and judging from the way that Timbo's Timbo's body language, I would say that he has conceded the fact that he is winning this one. Oh, the old X-Wing meta joke was things worked in Europe that didn't work in the States. That's do you know what? I think that's probably more true in X-Wing. Like. 5 black. 5 black from the FD.
there's going to be a next shot. That's so cute.
Getting some paint on that.
Yeah, Fifth Brother loves it.
What's up, Killy? So, giving you the rundown here. So, this is the first of the top 4 games, which is Jeff versus Timbo. Jeff split his supplies on Recover the Supplies at the polar opposite ends of the short edge of the table. So, one on the far left, one on the far right. R2 has been deployed on the far left of the screen, trundled up, grabbed the objective, trundled up, got the secret mission. You'll be pleased to hear that a squad of Ewoks has claimed the second box on the far right hand side of the table, and then we're having a bit of a bloody bath into the middle objective here. Jeff has had some fantastic play in whittling down the Imperial forces, and it's all that's left is a single IRG on the middle box, not claimed. There's a squad of T-21 stormtroopers who are about to try and make a Yahtzee roll. And then we've got brother and sister. The bounty from Din is currently on fifth brother. Din is in melee with seventh sister.
That is the airspeed off the board.
Oh,
That is Agent Callus doing God's work.
yep, R2 is off screen with a box and a secret mission. The way that our cameras work, we can only get them so high, and with the fisheye angle on the or the wide angle on the lens, I can cover about 97% of the table. So Jeff decided to deploy 2 objectives in the 3% that I can't cover. Okay, so activating his swoop bikes. See, I think at this point, Jeff could just put the foot on the neck and compulsory move.
Well, you can
Shoot.
overrun 7 systems.
Well, I was going to say he could shoot into the IRG. Yeah, there you go. Shoot into the IRG, because if you can get that 1 mini off the table, if he doesn't, overrun him, and then you can just get him off in a minute. But the way that Jeff's swoops have been rolling is unbelievable. Oh, heavy for Tim. IRG is there.
Yeah, his sweeps have rolled absolute fire.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think Tim's defense dice have been a little below average as well.
Yeah. And now we're going to overrun 7 systems.
So with an aim, he's got 2 hits through on 7th sister in melee. She gets to roll additional dice because of the command card.
Wound on
Can't be suppressed off the board, you're right, but you can be suppressed to drop an objective. Now,
R2's coach too, right there. Must be.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
The Ewoks on.
Yeah, the Ewoks, I would say, are probably going to drop the objective because they're going to panic. That's if Annihilation Looms gets dropped. I think because this is a stream game, it will get played all the way to the end. But I think if this was me playing as a casual game, I think we've probably conceded re-racked or go and play some unlimited.
I mean, there is still an outside wild chance Tim wins this.
Very sure. Yeah, for real. But what I think is good is even though the game's not going in his favour, there's still a lot of laughing, a lot of joking. Like, this is the beauty of this game. Top tables and everyone's still having a good time.
Are we going to do a different board for the finals?
Yeah, we've got another table coming for the finals. You'll be pleased to hear that it's not on a dark mat, so it won't be quite as washed out, and there'll be a bit more definition on the minis. It's a really cool table that I've not actually seen before.
Is it one from LGT 2022?
What, just one piece of scatter terrain in the middle? No, we're going to go for more great thematic tables. So brother moving into melee with Ram, 5 PS1. That looks like a full
boat from
full boat on brother.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill the bike though.
No, but do you think he's forgotten about versatile?
Yeah,
he's now right in range of getting shot to death.
I think Din is. Well, it just depends if Jeff is remembered as well.
Indeed.
Because it's not something that gets used a lot.
To be fair, I only know because you told me, and you only know because you read the card.
Yeah. So yeah, the last table will be kind of a Scarif board. Like there's a Crash U-wing on it. There's a Skyhopper. There's some good elevation. It makes for a really interesting table.
I'll show you this.
So here's a move that you very rarely see. Fleet troopers attempting to get to range 2. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that for a Scarif board.
Oh,
this is
wow.
6mm Star Wars, and up here there's a net with like TIE fighters and stuff. So you got walkers in there.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's really cool.
Where was that?
That was a Hammerhead show in Newark in March.
Ah.
It's like a big, more historical war gaming. But
So was that a
loads of
historical
games.
game that had been
They've been turned into
reskinned?
Star Wars.
And
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a So we're nearly at round here. I'm going to go and check.
You played a game where there was double annihilation looms turn 1. And a unit fled off the board. That's absolutely incredible. I remember playing a game where saving annihilation looms to turn 6 against a squad, and the guy panicked with 2 units that had boxes. They dropped the boxes and ran off the board, so I ended up winning on recover with 2 boxes. Yeah, okay, so Jeff going with Din. He's going to use his versatile shot into 5th brother for 3. 5th brother's dead. That gives Jeff the bounty. And then with the Ambam.
Oh, I was rolling one more.
Oh, okay. So with the command card, he actually got to roll 1 additional dice. So 5th brother isn't dead. He's alive on 1 wound. And 7th sister saves both hits, so no immobilized token. That is pretty clutch. Yeah, you're right. It's not going to work on. Not going to work on R2. The final. I will. When I see Andy, I will get a timing on the final because we're going to switch out the boards. Grab some food. Oh look, there's more Jedi, and then we'll get the final up and running. So the versatile attack did happen. Didn't kill brother because of the card effect. So brother is left on 1 wound. So I think at this point, brother's going to have to GTFO. He's going to be turning and running.
Or one-shot Din.
Or one-shot Din. I mean, well, the other thing is, if Timbo plays a sister card, even if he plays Din's 1-pip, it counts as 1 additional because of interrogate. Lovely. Okay.
Deploy the garrison.
Yeah, deploy the garrison
Against ploy.
Yep. Lovely. Okay, deploy the garrison, v ploy.
So Jeff gets to choose a card and put it on ploy, doesn't he? Face down. A token.
Yeah. So choose a token, put it face down. So it'll be so that he can trigger independent on Din, but still have an order.
Yeah. So orders going on both Inquisitors, they're both getting standbys.
That doesn't surprise me. As soon as anything happens. Oh, they're not, because he's got jammer. It's the comms jammer on Din. That's
comms jammer is on Din.
That is huge. I'd completely forgotten about the comms jammer.
Well, no, you called it, but you thought it was on the sweets. But no, that's really good.
I think that's such good play from Jeff. Like that's good counter play to that, intentional or not. The effect has been perfect. It does mean that Timbo's now got standbys on units that it's not going to trigger for the most part.
So 5 or 6 games and then comms jammers in my face. Turns out anti-attack.
Comms jammer's good. So just an update on the other game, just kind of midway through turn 3, so a bit further behind the pace of play than these guys. But Lee Macken has lost a bike squad, both HIUs and a snow squad, and Vader's taken quite a few wounds, and I don't think Ollie's lost more than 1 full Black Sun unit.
Wow,
so
but importantly Vader is still there, so he can still have a big impact on the game.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, if I was going to bet, and I'm not because I'm not a lunatic, I'd say it's going to be Jeff Ollie in the final, which would be great for the podcast after the beef last week.
Yeah, I would say Jeff and Ollie.
Yahtzee, please. Yahtzee.
He got no Yahtzee, so that's it, brother.
So that's the bounty claim.
Brother is down.
But obviously, Din does have to live to hit the bounty.
He does have to live, yeah. Which, having taken nothing right now, and he's got independent, so he's got a dodge. He's got good odds. He's not going to die this turn, because even with Sister getting a full boat, there isn't enough dice to kill him, right?
No, exactly.
No, there is.
Yeah, no,
he's
he's got
5,
5, yeah.
but he's got a dodge, so he'll, in
Chef
theory,
Plus on
and no, I don't believe so. Whoa. 3 units left, it's heavy. So, you know, there is an outside chance you see a tabling.
Yeah.
Now, interesting, if you ever see a tabling coming, do you just stare it down and cheer for the other guy to table you? Or do you try and conserve an activation for your event points?
Depends who I'm playing. I've been tabled by Lila so many times, now I just run away.
When I play Lila, who I know was in the chat earlier, I'm not sure if she still is, whenever I play Lila, there is one squad who will be a running away distance, just because she will absolutely try to table you.
Yeah.
But anybody else,
Yeah.
I'll pretty much try and hit you with the pointy sticks of my Ewoks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheer you on for the table.
Oh, so this is a force push of Din, then move, charge into him.
Yep. Oh, 1.
Rough.
You spend your dodge, right? Yeah, spend the dodge. Doesn't care. Heavy.
When it's not your day, it's not your day sometimes.
Well, you know, we are playing a dice game. So at the end of the day, that does have a huge part of it.
Exactly.
Yep, the standbys do have to go on units with an order, so that means that that Din stops the brother and sister having them. Yep, stims on Din, you're not wrong, so that would have kept him alive even if he hadn't been. He does effectively have 2 extra wounds. If he takes additionals before he activates, he will still die though. Yeah, true. It would be down to kill points.
Yeah, if you're tied on kill points, then it comes down to bids.
Yeah.
But we're not going that direction. But yeah, I lost a game here last year on bid, so we're playing key positions, tied 1-1, exactly the same kill points, and I have a 2-point bid compared to none. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have the same bid, it now goes to a draw, right? That happened with John from the London scene.
Yeah.
He, an enemy of the podcast. He at Worlds got a full tie. Nobody killed anything.
Yeah.
And they had the same bid, so it was just a full draw.
Yeah. Which of these sort of grand tournaments and like multiple rounds of Swiss, draws don't hurt you. So
yeah, true. I actually don't mind. I quite like the fact that you've got the draw in the game. I think it adds another interesting element to it.
Where do you stand on the intentional draw?
Well, this is what I was going to say. Personally, I think if people want to use the tools that are available to them, wicked. Like, I think you should take full advantage of it being an option.
Yeah.
I don't personally think it's a great use, like a great feature of the game. I don't think you should be able to intentionally draw, because if we look at it yesterday as an example, Dave and Ollie intentionally drew, which meant that Mini Cockles out of contention because he was then he had a worse strength of schedule.
Correct.
Whereas if they'd played out, there was a very real chance that he would have made it into the top 8.
Yeah.
So
over the one who lost that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think personally, I would always rather play a game than concede it to a draw. But I think when you're at those top tables and you can see that if we intentionally draw, it makes it to the cut. I don't blame people for taking advantage of what is already there as an option.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I think sat here, not playing, I'd quite happily say, yeah, I want to play my game. But, come MKGT, if I know maybe a intentional draw gets to fine, whatever, then maybe my opinion might be different.
Yeah, well, I know that
moment, so.
MKGT, no intentional draws allowed. But all the other major tournaments, because it is a part of the AMG rule pack, it is allowed.
Yeah,
so I think it is interesting because it's. I mean, we're all here to play games and push little spacemen around, right? And make pew pew noises. So you're not doing that by intentionally drawing.
Yeah.
Ollie is in the finals.
There we go. Ollie has beaten Lee, so we have our first finalist, which is Ollie Dyer, and
Was it pretty bloody? It looked pretty bloody.
Oh, it was ridiculously bloody, yeah. Vader just went down, he got punched to death by Black Suns. And the only thing Lee's got on the table at this point is 3 units of bikes.
Yeah.
While Ollie's still got a unit of Black Suns, 3 swoops, and both buses. And they're playing key positions. So.
We're chatting through here because of the key positions. And Ollie's got the buses, like Lee had to choose violence. Like you can't sit out and wait to turn
That's
6.
exactly what they were just talking about. Ollie said that he needed to, for Lee to win, he needed to match the aggression of what Ollie was trying to push and was doing.
Yeah.
But what Lee ended up doing was backing off. And he was trying to play his usual conservative, like he did in last night's game, where if you watch it, he's waiting for that turn 6 dive of bikes and stuff like that. But what he really needed to be doing was quite aggressive and going straight in there. Yeah, exactly. It was a good game to watch. Vader is because Ollie doesn't have many troops. Vader can't do as much as he likes to do normally.
Yeah.
And he took a Black Sun shot to the face, took 4 wounds, but eventually went down to getting punched to death.
Yeah.
Because they hit like a Vader.
Yeah.
One Vader model.
Yeah.
There's a 5-man squad in there with Vader, and then there was a single dude as well. So there's 6 guys punching Vader to death.
Yeah. It was always going to be an interesting matchup, especially with how well Ollie knows that list.
Oh, 100%.
He knows inside and out and every way to beat it, because he gets an unbelievable amount of reps with his lists, so that he knows the weaknesses, and because that was essentially that was his list.
Yeah.
He knows that what he's playing now should beat it. That's why it exists.
I think Lee probably, as he said, should have been very aggressive. He's got a lot of impact. He should be able to get rid of one of them buses in one turn.
Yep.
I know Ollie's obviously going to try and preserve it and keep it as far away as possible, and etc. But I think you have to kind of bait Ollie to get out of that bus, lose a bike unit from getting one-shotted by Black Suns.
Yeah.
But get rid of a bus as quickly as you can, and that means you can then Vader can then dive in on a Black Sun unit.
Absolutely, especially because in key positions, when you're playing Vader, you need both of his 1-pips for turns 5 and 6.
Yep.
That's such a key turn, and if you're taking wounds too early, that's just curtains
they
for the game.
Played, I think that was turn 4 or 5 that they conceded on. And the key position on that map as well, it was a big cargo box.
Yep.
But it wasn't big, which is great against in most matchups, because it's a nice line of sight blocker. It changes how the game and the dynamic works, because you've got to obviously position and kind of do a merry-go-round as you're shooting each other, going towards the line of sight blocker.
Yep.
But in that, for them two, eventually Ollie could have just parked his bus on the top of it, and it was the bus is so big that he could block it off.
Yeah.
Now things could get underneath it and touch, but it was just one of them things that the size of them buses, and that's why he needed to kill them.
Yeah.
Later in the game would have cost him it.
Yeah, as we're saying, it's all good having both your 1-pips, but you can't Vader's mighty bus off the objective. And you might be able to kill it with an implacable, double attack. But
are you going to have the wounds left after being hit by Black Suns for 5 turns?
Exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah. So I think it's a really tough matchup for Lee. I think because obviously Ollie didn't want to play hostage exchange.
I think he probably had one of the better chances to beat Ollie. And I think the next biggest to beat Ollie would probably be Jeff.
Yeah.
He's got that eye on. He's got quite a lot of impact.
But he's also played against Ollie a lot. And Jeff's played against. He's also played against Lila a lot, and Lila plays a very similar list. So there's some similarities there.
Bugger off. You're not allowed on the stream. No one wants to hear your thoughts.
So at this point, Jeff is just pressing the accelerator, putting his foot on the neck. He's claimed the bounty, secret mission, and he has 2 boxes.
He's got bounty. He's got Din.
He's got Din. Din killed brother for the bounty with the versatile pistol.
That's an interesting choice, the bounty.
Well, I think what the reason being was to put you off playing aggressively with your most aggressive piece, right?
Yeah, but as we've discovered, because you're obviously starting to play them as well, that he doesn't have charge.
True.
So by wounding him, you're actually making him better.
You are.
So I probably would have I would have bountied Sister, because that's to me is a logical choice, or even Callas, you know.
Well, I think we would. I mean, this comes full circle because Krennic is the only white save person in the
Now,
beginning.
I don't think you do Krennic.
He's going to play very cagey because he's only there for compel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's only going to ever pop out on turn 5 or 6 where he needs to come out and do something.
Well, at this point, you know, we're going into command cards for turn 6, and Timbo has brought him forward, but I think at this point there's not a huge amount he can do.
Yeah, he's clutching straws.
He's already where Jeff is. He's on 4 victory points. So even with the 2 boxes that he
Bounty
has,
and that's crazy, man.
It's not possible. So
And he's also got the comms jammer on Din, and he just negated the
So it's-
double standby
Jeff, what?
from deploy the garrison. Yeah.
Wow. I need to have a look at this list again because it's fucking crazy what Jeff's done. Well,
It is crazy. It is crazy. But I absolutely love that not only have we got Rebels in the top 4, it's what we all thought was just total nonsense. It's
Yeah.
Rebel soup, and that is what's really cool about the game at the moment, is that you can take...
Jeff does a lot of soup. Like he
He
does a lot
does,
of.
he does.
He'll send out these lists and he'll be like, "Oh, what do you guys think of this?" I'm like, "Jeff, no," and everyone's just like, "Yeah, Jeff, no." Right.
But
And-
Jeff, yes.
What you're saying is he's cockles but better.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Well, Cockles, you know, famously took triple droidicas to LGT and didn't win a single game, I think. So
But he was really confident.
he was very confident
So
about
we
it.
come back to pilot skill, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, and do you know what? Like,
No, ask Rene. He brought triple droidicas this weekend.
for as much of a ribbing
he got some wins.
as we like to give each other, I think Jeff has got the pilot skill to take those
yeah.
lists.
I mean, he came top 32 at Worlds.
He did come top 32 at Worlds.
And obviously
Top 8 MK.
did Jeff make day 2 last year at Worlds?
Yeah, he made day 2. Yeah.
So it's 2 years on the trot. He's made day 2,
Yep.
which is a respectable, like top 64 and top 32.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Maybe he'll be next year top 16 and get towards the final. Doing half a year.
Well, I don't know, because that's not always how it works, is it, Andy? You don't do better than you did the previous year every year.
You got to drop 60 places. That's all right. It's easier then on the following year.
Yeah.
Just setting yourself up.
There we go. So Krennic has moved to the box. Jeff now activating the FD, doing 2 wounds to was that to Sister?
Callas.
Oh, to Callas.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
still in with Din.
Yep.
Callas
Floor
is
can't
on the
come
same
in.
box.
Yeah, the game is balanced. Apart from Dark Troopers, I actually still think that there is good play into Dark Troopers. I don't think that they're an auto win. I think there's definitely a good amount of stuff in there. And do you know what? There's
I think it depends if it's 1 or 2.
very true. It gets a lot harder when there's 2.
And I mean, unless you've got an answer, so impact
Yep.
or lots of critical and stuff, I don't think it's auto.
Well, you can never rely on the. Well, Luke would argue that you can, but you can never rely on just roll crits. It's not it's not reliable. But
That's why he lost to Ollie.
he did lose to Ollie. You're not wrong. Liam thinks he would have beat Jeff.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance, Liam, to get you on the stream, but I would have loved to have seen the... No, he did go on stream, didn't he, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. With
The Wookiees...
Triple Flutters.
Yeah, Triple Flutters, they were on stream, weren't they?
No, there's the other guy. There's
Just
two
missed
people.
it. Oh, yeah,
two people playing Triple Flutters, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get you on the next one.
So what else have you got planning for streaming this year, Tom?
Well, unfortunately, for the Legion streaming, we're expecting a child in August, so that means that my
When we say we, you mean you, not the
me
podcast.
and my wife.
We're taking the baby now. Our baby now, David.
This is my wife now. So yeah, like so I'm gonna be trying to do the finals days for I'm gonna do MKGT. I'm gonna do the finals day, but that's pretty close to the due date. So
Gonna have a bag pack ready to go.
yeah.
No, he's going to have the baby with him. Like, it's going to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
earlier than it is.
To be fair, to be honest, Tom, you're not having the baby.
No, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be present. I've been told I need Ferrero Rochers available for eating. But then, so I'm going to try and come and do the finals on some of them. Like, I'm going to try and do LGT finals day. She told me that I can do it. I'm not convinced that she will be happy at the time, but we'll see. And then there's an event in Hemel, which is 15 minutes from my house, so I think that should be absolutely
So
fine.
you can cover both days on that.
I'm going to try and cover both days. She already told me that it's fine. I think we're going to play that by ear, but
What would you have for Sheffield?
yeah, well, I don't know about Sheffield. We'll see. But yeah, we should still have some. We'll still have some good coverage, even without me.
Yeah.
You know, Andy, you did a great job yesterday with the coverage. So I think.
Apparently not.
Well, you know, we do our best. A lot of it, you know, this is the first lots of streaming that we've ever done. So a lot of it is trial by fire. Like in this stream, as an example, we used quite a busy mat that washes out the saturation on the camera. So, you know, it meant that some of the minis are a bit harder to see. So things like that, we probably won't use a lava-based mat on stream until I work out how to make it work better.
Well, you've got to learn that through trial and error.
Exactly,
You can't
and
just
you know,
pick it up.
Or invest in better equipment.
well, yeah, I mean we are using the pretty ghetto setup, but yeah, more cameras for sure. But I think at the minute having a dice cam and the over the head cam is kind of where we're at. Turns out with Streamlabs, if you have two of the exact same camera, they don't work. So when I bought an additional camera that was the same, it cancelled out the one that we already had. So we're back down to two cameras, but we are in the process of working it
I've
out.
got the third one now, so I can swap mine for yours.
Oh, yeah, okay,
So
yeah.
That way we can always set up two.
Yeah, we can do that.
But as you
But,
said, it's,
yeah, it's-
we're learning. We're buying equipment slowly. It's not cheap, but Patreon helps with that.
It does. It certainly does.
Obviously, it helps improve our recording for the podcast itself.
Yep.
Obviously, or if the quality's bad, tell us. A coppers can sort it out.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was so bad for so long.
The thing is, we've only been making videos for a year from
crazy.
May. It's been a year that we've had our YouTube, and we've already around the 750 subscribers. We're making regular videos. We do battle reports at least once a month. We've got Jack, we've taken on, who's doing a lot of painting, and I mean, he's a better painter than all of us, apart from, well, no, actually, including Ollie. So, you know, we're
Jack's just not won an award yet.
Yeah.
well, you know, have we done the best painted?
Yeah, so yesterday I gave out two prizes for best painter. So you have the Paint and Play Award, which was there was 8 entrants, so people who set out their armies and was fully painted. So I rolled a D8. Well, actually, I got because it's all you have to do it random now. I actually got.
So it's not based on the quality of the painting.
No. So AMG aren't allowed to run painting competitions. So they do paint and play. It encourages everyone just as long as you've got something painted. Because I get it in some regards. Like there's a little bit where you spend all your time painting. Like I'm an average painter at best, like kind of thing.
As am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously I know we can recognise a really good paint job. Was that a shake of hands?
Yeah, that was a shake of hands, and as we have seen it unfold, Jeff has taken the win there. So our finals for UKGE 2024 is going to be Ollie versus Jeff, Shadow Collective versus Rebels.
Team UK.
Amazing to see Rebels in the finals, though.
Yeah, it really is.
But sorry, you were saying on the best painting.
Yeah, so I get from AMG's point of view that they want to encourage just people who like you get rewarded for just having your army painted. They don't care about like the quality. They just want to encourage the people that are painting.
Do you know
It's
what?
a hobby aspect of it.
I quite like that they're just encouraging you to actually paint.
Yeah.
And there's prize support based around that, because
Yeah.
I remember in LGT last year we had the C3PO Bright Tree Village was their best painted card.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Very cool. So you know, just encouraging the people to actually paint their army. I know that you know some people don't want to. Like Ollie is a prime example. Hates painting.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't hate it. I just do it out because it's a semi-necessity. But
Yeah, I mean-
it looks better. Like without a doubt, I always prefer it when they're on the table. They're painted.
Absolutely. Like, and you know, I'm the same. I want my stuff to look vaguely like the source material.
Yeah.
It might not be that good, but
As my wife says, I may have been premature. They're actually calculating kill points. So Din didn't claim the bounty.
Ooh.
Jeff shot him with the laser dish. So it's actually
Oh,
3-3
okay.
with calculating kill points.
interesting.
I would be fairly confident that it's still Jeff's game. Because Jeff lost sweeps, land speeder, vets, and a blast. Tim's lost rubber IRG and 3 full storms.
Yeah, 3 full storms. So Now, it sounds like we completely wrote off.
Palace
Yeah.
and a Storm. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, like 4 maybe.
Oh, so you killed 415 of Timbo's army, so just over half. I think that Jeff may still take this because he's lost a squad of vets, a Mark II, swoops, and a land speeder. He still has a lot of points invested in Din. He's right though. It is going to be very
I'll come
close.
back to it, Liam, in a second.
So Jeff won. Jeff killed 415. Timbo killed 360. So 55 points in it.
That's close.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah. So,
Well, that just shows that even when it's not looking great, you should always play your games out to the end.
Yeah.
Like it can be so clutch, especially with key pieces like Inquisitors. Like they do have good manipulation of the board, and it shows that even with our like unbiased view, we were wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which
absolutely.
John Doom will tell you I'm always wrong. So this just
that's a great game.
adds to it.
Really
Yeah,
good
it was a
play.
great game.
Yeah, it should be a great final, I think. So.
Yeah, absolutely. What time's the final starting, Andy?
What's the time now? So it's 12 o'clock. So we'll give them I think we'll start about 1, so they've got about an hour lunch.
Cool, okay. So if you're with us at the moment, local time is midday. We're going to be back at 1 o'clock for the finals, which will be Jeff versus Ollie, which is Team UK versus Team UK. We're going to have Rebels versus Shadow Collective, so no Empire, no Republic. I'm not sure that's how I would have predicted it day one.
No, not based on who's in the top 8 and how things were unfolding at the time, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely some outliers, and obviously Ollie dropped a game on day 1 by that point.
He did, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a few other people had, like Jack at that point was 1 and 2. And I was quite confident with Jack. I was like,
do you know what? Going into the tournament, I thought Jack was probably going to be. I mean, I'd said it in our group chat, top 8. I thought Jack would go top 8.
I was thinking top 4 for Jack. Just got really, really bad pairings.
I mean, he basically had a world's day 1 pairing for day 1. He had Ollie, Dave Grant, and Tim.
Yeah.
That is a really, really heavy lineup.
Sometimes that is what just takes you out. It's just the lineup. It's not even the list. It can be the quality of players. But to answer for Liam, for the best painting, go back to it finally for it. The Painting Play Awards was randomised by Dave Grant's wife. I got her to roll a D8 dice.
Nice.
So guess who won it?
Dave.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then I shortlisted 3 best painted armies for my personal preference and award for it. So I shortlisted the Wookiees for Liam's, which is where they're hanging off the.
I've seen them. They're so good.
Yeah. So that was 3rd place for me. 2nd place was Josh's clones, where they're all like Fallujah. Like the level of detail and the chip and the shoulder work and the armour detailing. That was amazing. But the thing that got the award for first for me, like my favourite one, was it was Paul Buller's droids. Normally you highlight your characters and you do edge highlighting and stuff, like you put the extra detail in.
I mean, putting that on a whole army is a lot of work.
Army of B1s, like every generic B1. I was picking up like Joe Blogg's ones, like the ones you don't care about. The legs were done, the arms were done, the backpacks were done on every single one of them.
His spiders were amazing as well.
The attention to detail.
The spiders on the eyes, they were amazing. Like really, really amazing.
Was that the list with the spiders with no weapons?
Yes.
Wow, the suicide spiders.
He's just running about.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, who would get blown up by 2 spiders and lose 17 models in that game? Me.
So
we've got a lot of time for that.
So they both won. You get from the GT packs, you get like a massive art piece. So it's designed to be framed, and they're really nice quality. So one of them's the Commando full artwork. And the other one's the Ewoks running through, and it's got like the Legion frame on it. And
that's cool because I've got the Maul one from LGT last year.
Yes.
So, and I have that framed. I think one thing I think that AMG have done amazingly well is the prize support. They always come through with with the alt art cards, with the dice, the sidebars, even the participation prizes is really, really good. Like, I think that's definitely one thing that, as a company, they're doing really well.
That reminds me, I better go and give the top four their top four prizes.
Okay, so join us back here for 1 o'clock, and we will be here with the final. But until then, go grab yourself a drink, get some lunch, and we will see you then.